All right. Well, let's get our chat on. We're looking for the usual suspects, and nobody's up, so I'm going to go up. Hey, what's going on, Metals? How's life treating you? Just working things around here. Something for everybody to look at. In the meantime, get some people in here. We'll get our chat going, and we'll see where the day takes us. That's what we'll do. And of course, Bitly is going to be like that today, isn't it? And of course it is. There we go. Yeah, I betcha. Yeah, I had to run out and did a little fix. I made a little video of that for my skimmer, which I built the stand for yesterday. And now that's up and running properly, so can't beat that. Yeah. But we'll get into all that, I'm sure. Yeah, so I got my coffee, I got some cigarettes, and I got time, so why not? Oh, good coffee. Yeah, I'm going to have to see if I can get the rest of my euphyllias out looking that good. The torch is just putting them to shame. Hmm. Well, that works. Well, that one works. Why doesn't that work? Hmm. Interesting. Love how Hangouts acts up every once in a while, just for some reason. I don't know. What did happen? I don't know what the hell is going on. Oh, that. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely it's what it is. It's just me being witty. Um, my good old wife gets mad at me sometimes, so and I laugh at odd things. So, you know, I've always been a person that laughs when people get angry at me because I'm like, why are you mad? Yeah. So let's see. Why is this being such a douche? Let's try taking it from a different tactic, shall we? I'm just fixing up some links here, folks. We'll get some people in here chatting and shooting the breeze. Yep, Bitly. Google shortener works, but it only occasionally works. Yeah, whatever. I'll get to it. Anybody wants in, and I have your email, I'll shoot you an email for now. It'll work eventually. I'd love to go find those people and give them a kick in the ass. No, that's all there was to it. Hanukkah was just a funny quip from a song that entered my head when somebody was mad at me that I know very well. Yeah. Because I'm just that kind of silly. That's what I am. Alrighty. I will just shoot you a link the good old-fashioned way. Let's do that. There we go. I'll get Tom in here too, since I have Tom's information. There we go. Those are sent. We got some people in here. We'll get to shooting the breeze. And I'll worry about making links later. The chances are it'll start working all of a sudden, so it's kind of the way it goes. Well, you can if you want, but the thing is that it plays off a different thing. That's all. There's Annika. How you doing today?
Hold on. I got you. I got two of you.
Uh-oh.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. I hate Hangouts, and a lot of it is, okay, so way back in the day, I want to say maybe 2006 to 2008, somewhere in that range. Yep. Might be off. Google bought Grand Central. Do you know what Grand Central is?
I remember it. Yep.
Okay, Grand Central, for everyone out there, Grand Central is how you could make calls over the internet for free. I think it was free. Was it VoIP?
It was a VoIP-based one, yeah.
Okay. I used it, but I don't remember exactly what the tech was. So Google bought Grand Central, and it became Google Voice. So now they have Google Voice. So they had to merge, they had to put together all their code and get Google Voice. And then they built Hangouts from the ground up, but it was called Hangouts and Hangouts on Air. They built it for Google Plus. They didn't build it for YouTube.
Right.
Google acquired YouTube, I want to say 2009. I
think it was 2008, 2009. Yep.
Yeah, somewhere around there. So just to give people a little, if you guys have never done a Hangout on Air, it's a goddamn nightmare. Because there's like 5 ways to do it, and every way doesn't end the same. Like, it's crazy because they've got like a button over here that says go live, a button over here that says go live, and every single way you do it, like it's crazy. So I hate it because some of the time when you go live, they won't allow you to invite anybody in. You're just straight streaming.
Yep.
You can't send your internal link or nothing. So then you have to close that out and go to the other way where you're doing like a call, but broadcasting it. It's like, it's so junky. And the reason, so to get back to kind of what I was saying, so Google Plus, they had the engineers at Google Plus create Google Hangouts and Google Hangouts on Air.
Yep.
And then they decided to merge that with YouTube. Then they had YouTube live streaming. So they merged. So now your GChat, do you guys remember GChat?
Yep, I do actually.
GChat, they have Google Voice, they have Hangouts on Air, and they mashed them all together into one big thing. So that now when you go to do like a Google, like just call someone like on Grand Central, it's actually a Hangout on Air now. So it's like they took all this shit. What they should have done is they should have bought up the technologies. They should have start fresh with new code. But that's not what they did. And I've talked to the engineers at Google who had to piece this shit together, and they've said it's just a nightmare.
Oh yeah, they've had nothing but issues with it, and it's like there's no.
And it's not safe when it's not secure when you have like a bunch of just macked up shit together. It's like you have security issues.
Yep.
Because do you remember?
Go ahead.
Do you remember Windows had a rogue string of code for 17 years in their operating system.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It was being exploited for 17 years because they kept reusing the same code over and over and over. Nobody caught it.
Yeah. My favorite was right up until Windows 10 that the administrator password was never put on. If you said no to it, it was still there and empty. So you could actually backdoor into Windows for the longest time. And now it's still there, but it's supposedly, I don't know. Well, let's put it this way. I still got in, but
Discord,
it takes some talent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tom, sorry, not to, I'm like caffeinated now. Tom is mentioning my saltwater journey. He's mentioning Discord as a proper hangout. I've used Discord quite a bit. Like I have a Discord server, but we mostly talk like robots and shit posting on you. It's like for YouTubers. So it's people that are not in the reefing community that shit talk about like things that are happening like all over the world. But it's fun. I mean, you kind of keep up on things, or they'll post links to new people's videos that are kind of in our circles. So Discord is good. The only thing is I think the learning curves on it is a little high. A lot of people don't want to go start fresh with Discord when they have YouTube. And you can take like OBS and Discord and you can pipe it through and stream it to YouTube.
Yes, that's why a lot of people are using it, because it makes it simpler on that front, and you don't get that Hangout linking problem and all the other stuff. So I get where people are coming from on that front. It's more, and I'll get there. You know, it's one of those things that I'm just I'm playing around with it. I got hit 3 times while I was out at Northeast Plumbing, which I have a video coming up, and at the pet store, because they're going to do me a deal to get my 5-gallon tank and some other product that I need. So, you know, it's all of a sudden it's like people, sort of. So I'm like sitting there and I'm like, okay, cool. I just dropped into price the tank, right? So it was kind of fun.
But that's nice. I mean, I
told
you that I was given a few corals for free. It was maybe $150 worth of free stuff that my local fish store, because they know I do YouTube, and they said, don't worry about it now, but in the future, we want to do some videos with you and we want to kind of do some sponsorship stuff. But they've got this Reef Currents coming up, so they have a lot on their plate, but they're really cool, and I get a lot of stuff from them. So no, that's awesome that you got a little sponsor.
Yeah, sort of to that end, and I'm like sitting there, okay, and I got stuff I got to order, and I'm doing, and so it was kind of cool that, you know, people have seen it, and I actually got a couple of messages on the way home. It's like, oh man, I saw your video, and I'm like, oh, cool, really? You're only 3 months late for that one? That's awesome.
Somebody had asked what kind of rock is in your tank. I think
that is Marco Rock, or Reef Safe Rock, or call it what you want, but it's Key Largo Marco Rock. So it's mined rock. Nope, it's mined rock.
Okay. Cool. It reminds me of it's a different shape, but the texture kind of reminds me of the stuff that I got. Yeah. Is it really heavy or is it really light?
It's pretty light. The thing that's really popular about this is tends to lock together like Lego.
That's what I love. Like
that rock for that reason. Yeah.
You can have one piece on its own that looks really cool and natural, but you can like the nubby things kind of fit.
Yep.
That's what I like about mine, is mine stacks really good together. It like shelves really well. Yeah.
Yep. And then if you put epoxy on it, you know, so you buy your 2-part, you pinch it all together and you stick it on the part that you know is locking in. When you lock it together, it stays locked together, right? So,
yeah,
that's what you need to do. So I'm not going to say anything about my clowns today because I want them to stay just the way they are. I got a feeling I'm going to be taking that poor guy hiding under a rock out, because she's just not leaving them alone. So whatever. Yeah. Welcome to fish keeping.
I like cardinals quite a bit. Like, I think they're just so pretty.
Yeah, they are, right up until you see them kill stuff. You know, that's the fun part with cardinals. People don't expect it when it happens, right? It's like, yeah, they do that. Like, my guy's just sitting there chilling, like, dude, you know, chilling like a villain out front, just doing his thing, and he's digging the float right there, and that's where he wants to be. So, you know, it's what it is. But yeah, so that was my exciting trip out today, and I did a video, and it's coming up, and there's a shout out to Mr. Saltwater Tank there. Oh, wait, my saltwater journey. Hey, Tom, I'm having fun at you.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was helping my dog.
That's all right. I called you Mr. Saltwater Tank for fun.
Yeah, somebody did that as well in the chat.
Yeah, they do that all the time.
Right?
It's like, nope, he's not a bellend.
fault.
Yeah, he's just making money now. right? His side business took off enough that he just doesn't have time. I feel bad for him because he was probably one of the most prevalent at one point doing it. So Mr. Saltwater Tank, Mark Callahan.
Yeah,
he was pretty prevalent at one point. So
yeah, he's got those sites right now. It's ridiculous.
Oh, he's so busy now. He actually said he's booked up until sometime next year in 2019.
Yeah. There's no videos anymore about the tanks.
No, and that was the cool part. He's one of the one. Him and BRS TV, I think, are the ones that kind of got me into it.
Yeah, me too, actually.
BRS, like I think I told you, the very first reef YouTuber I believe that I subbed to was that Coral 12G.
Yeah.
And then, it's something 12G. You know what I'm talking about.
Coralfish 12G. You got it. Yeah.
And then the second one was Than. And then somewhere in there, one of the very next ones was like Inappropriate Reefer, BRS, and then I started like Mark Melev's
Reef.
Mark Levinson or something. And like it literally was just like a flood of Mark Levinson. But there were a couple. You know that one guy? I don't want to speak ill about anybody. I don't know because
we do. It's all right. Go ahead.
No, because the person, there's nothing wrong. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the person, like, because I've never interacted with them, and their videos are good. But he disabled. That's all I'm gonna say, and you guys can figure it out on your own. Because like I said, I don't want to speak ill of him. Isn't done anything wrong, but he disabled all of his comments on his YouTube channel and tells you to go post on his website because he's trying to promote his website. But it's frustrating because it's like, oh, great. Now I have to go sign up on this dude's personal website so that I can like ask him a quick question on his forum. It's like, what he could do is plug in the comments, I'm sure.
Well, and some guys just, they want to be able to keep track of it in one space.
I know, but it doesn't work that way. People end up just, because I've never left a comment for him. And I've wanted to leave. I tend to, if I watch a video and if it all interests me, I leave a comment.
It should. Yeah, exactly. Right.
I don't think I ever downvote videos either. If I don't like something, I just leave it alone. So.
Well, I always get a thumbs up.
Yeah. I thumbs up as I go in. If I realize it's a crap video, I'm like, let me just like take off my thumbs up.
I mostly do a thumbs up because that's my way to know if I watched the video or not.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
If I like the video, I comment it.
Yeah, that's the other thing that I do is I'll go to a video that I don't realize I've seen before and I've already thumbs it.
Videos to comment on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually explained to somebody today, they were asking me what that was, and I said it's an easy way to call someone a
dickhead.
And get away with it, so to speak, right? I said because it doesn't
get English curse word.
Yeah, it's easy.
They're always funny.
So Craig,
yes,
is your plan to grow out what you have? Because I can see you have more of a mix, right?
Yep.
Are you gonna focus on growing out what you have, or are you gonna try to fill in more?
I'm pretty much going to probably grow out what I have. I might add a couple of smaller things. Probably ACANs in this tank, I think, is where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Right? So,
ooh, nice.
Somebody was asking me about it. It's like, well, I've got a mid-light going on here. If I want to get it higher, I can.
Yeah.
And I do have some.
Want higher light?
Well, they're mid to high light. Really depends. Okay. They can do low lights. It really depends on the ACAN. Yeah. Bauer Bankies really don't care.
Yeah. It's all about the blue power.
Exactly, and it's blues. They love blue.
Yeah.
So
the blue is
blue. The whites give them nothing.
Yeah. So it's all, a matter of preference, right? Like, if that donut coral in the bottom left corner there, he's working every day. He just seems that now he's about halfway down. So
yeah, I was going to ask what that was. It's called a donut coral.
Donut coral. Yeah, it's a type of trichophilia.
It's nice.
As I recall, don't quote me, but it almost peeled off of its skeleton on my wife in the main tank. Oh. So every day she looks at it and she kind of graphs it, by her eye.
Yeah.
And she just looked at me and she goes, I don't know how you're doing it, but you're recovering, that coral. I just gave it a healthy tank to be in.
Can you do a closer look of what it looks like with or is your camera kind of just sitting on a tripod or something?
It's just tripoded. Yeah, for me to get in. I can get in closer, but it's not going to focus very well with the Hangout cam.
I'm looking at a donut coral online.
Oh, you hit over 8. There we go. Oh, go ahead.
Nice.
Wow, those are pretty.
Doing good, Metal.
Yeah, this one's mostly orange and green.
Yeah.
And what I'll do to feed him now, because he's folded the way he was literally scrunched up all over himself, and feeding him was almost a royal pain.
Yeah.
What I do now is I'll get in with the Reefroids, and I'll kind of lift him up a bit and squirt it inside that fold.
Yeah.
So you kind of see where he's got a bum. I go underneath there,
Yeah.
and he'll eat it. And the more he eats, the more, things are stable the way they are right now. He's recovering his way out. So, hey, what's going on, Mike? Nice to see you. Go ahead.
No, he reminds me of my meat coral a little, but my meat coral's a lot, obviously.
They're related.
Big
No, they're related. Yep.
What? They are?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw a 5-year-old pink, bright pink Goniopora that is the size of my head, bigger than my head today. And they've had it for 5 years and it's flourishing. And I knew nobody would believe me, so I took a short video. I need to go get my camera, my phone.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll show you guys. What I might do is also put it on YouTube and talk about like some different corals that I want to do. That is,
I would.
I have all these impossible goals. Like I told you that I want to get back to where I'm doing
Possible goals. Yeah.
months.
Nothing wrong with impossible goals.
Yeah. And one of them is I want to keep a Gani forever. as long, I mean, I want it to flourish in my tank. Maybe not the nano tank, but when I get a bigger one, that's a stretch goal for me, is to be able to have my parameters so like on point that I can keep a Gani and it flourishes. It doesn't just stay alive and hang on for a while, that it just grows. And so I think talking to Cruz and Nick, we like talk all the time now. Like Cruz hits me up on Facebook Messenger and we kind of go back and forth. And he knows a ton about the chemistry behind it. So I feel like if I understand the chemistry, and what Nick keeps harping on with me is that, a lot of people will buy a bunch of corals and like half of them die and they're like, well, I guess it was the end of its life cycle. He's like, no, living creatures want to stay alive, especially a coral.
Yep.
Right.
And if you work at it, it's like I watch that lawnmower blending like a hawk because of what's going on in the chemistry right now. So what looks like a pile of dirt up front is actually a blue tuxedo urchin. So right to the right of the plate, you see that kind of bunch of stuff. That's actually an urchin. So when he's walking around, he's picking up all this crud. He's actually cleaning the tank on his own, right, by picking this stuff up and getting it into the water column, and then it gets out, right?
Yeah.
So my next step with this tank is to make sure it stays stable, because this is the one I was the harshest with. If you go back and look in my vids, you can actually see this tank when it was full of algae. There's videos of it, right? Actually close up showing you just how bad it actually was. To the point I was picking up some of these corals and getting it off of them, right? Yeah. So, I tell people all the time, you can deal with this stuff. It's patience, right? Don't go too crazy.
Yep.
Take your steps. That's what it's all about, right?
I'm not even going to scrape the algae off. I'm not going to scrape my glass until I get the bubbler in. So if it takes 5 more days, then I'll have algae on my glass for 5 days. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It's
just don't let it get fuzzy.
No, it's not. No. I mean, it's that just really short, the basic stuff that you get on it. It's not hair algae or anything.
Nope.
I can stand
and I can still see through perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I hate algae on the glass.
Yeah. This one, I've gone from having to clean it daily to every few days because of bubble scrubbing. So
that's what I want to do, is I want to clean it while I'm bubble scrubbing. So instead of it ending up in the tank and settling on everything, which is what it does, it'll bubble it right out and end up in the protein skimmer. So.
Man, I wipe my glass several times a day.
Your rocks look really clean, and there's no settlement on it, and that's from the scrubbing.
Yep. Right? Yep, that's exactly. It's been the bubble scrubbing, keeping the nutrients down.
Yeah.
Just working at it that way, because if you think that you can do it without doing it, it's like, well, you can. Bubble scrubbing for me has just been an added tool.
Yeah.
To actually go at it and fix things or help stabilize the tank more so than anything else, right? That's really what it was all about for me, was listening to Cruz and those guys talking about it and figuring out a way to just fix it up a little more, right? And up goes my new video. So there we go. So, sorry, I'm just getting something done in the meantime. So yeah, it's definitely, it's led that rock. You'd have to watch it. There's no way to describe how bad it was. It was take people out of the hobby bad. You know what I mean? I know guys that have just flipped out and just can't handle what they're seeing and said that that's it. They don't want to deal with it anymore. No. Much to my benefit.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Michael, come in.
You said he would. He's in the middle of a delivery. You said he would after he's done.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go. I'll take the laptop with me, but I'm going to go upstairs and I've got some laundry to put away. And like, I haven't made my bed today. I know it sounds weird, but I make my bed every day.
Nothing wrong with that. You can if you want.
Yeah. So I need to, while my kids are taking a nap, I need to get some laundry stuff done, because if I don't, it's going to be chaos.
Yeah. Don't become that slack housewife, man.
Yeah.
Because then, you know, you'll be writing, how can I help it if I think you're funny when you're mad?
I'm the cleaner of the two of us. So if anything, it's usually me nagging him. Like,
there you go.
Why are there dishes in the sink? They go either clean and in the dish drain, or they go in the dishwasher. They don't go in the sink. Like, and it's been.
Oh, I got a portable dishwasher, so they go on top of the dishwasher.
Oh.
Like, oh yeah, just, you know, to no end. It's like dealing with a 19-year-old and I'm going, wow, I was bad, wasn't I?
Yeah.
You know, it definitely it made it what it was. So, you know, and what it is, right? Still bad. You know, I'm a lazy man, folks. I'm going to tell you, if I can reef, you can reef, because I'm that lazy. You know, I've never understood people that, I think it's the OCD crowd that has a hard time with reefing, because they think they got to noodle with the tank constantly. It's like, no, leave it alone. Let it do its thing. Right? It'll come back around. And if it doesn't, go ahead.
But I was going to say that was kind of once that clam died and I was water changing every day, I went into OCD mode. Like, oh, I just need to clean everything. I was pulling things out. I was scraping algae off, and I just realized, you know what? The tank is fine. The corals are fine. Leave them the F alone. Like, and they're
that's
healthy.
The hard part for
My parameters are fine. Just stop effing with it. And I think it was, what's his name? Infamous Aquatics. Like, he was the one who like really got me to where I was telling him, you know, I got into this to be stress-free. I was joining somebody else's live streams and they were kind of stressing me out with just like, you need to do this, you need to do this, it was like people were just telling me, giving me lists of all the shit I need to do to my tank, or else my fish are gonna die because I have a nano, and oh my God, I can't believe you bought a nano. And Infamous Aquatics took me aside and goes, hey, I heard what those guys were saying. Just leave it the fuck alone. Your corals are healthy. Your water is healthy. Like, I had this list on my phone of like all this crap that I had been told, if you don't do this, it's going to die. If you don't. And my shit's working. In fact, I added another clam, a little bitty clam, and he's doing great. You put your hand over, he like closes up. And then as soon as your hand moves, he opens back up. He has like the fastest response time. And Fido twice a week. You know, everyone's like, oh, you have to like really get it in there. No. I just kind of like, you know, kind of drizzle it around in the vicinity with the pumps off, because he's I put him so he's not too far from my scallop, so that I can kind of spot him at the same time. They're not close, but they're like in the same vicinity. Yep. And so I just kind of very gently drizzle, give it 15, 20 minutes, turn the pump back on, the rest can broadcast, he'll be fine. And he's doing great.
Right. So. And it just proves the point, right? You know what I mean? And it's not saying that's going to work for everybody.
I agree.
And that's where we try to tell everybody, like, you got to remember, like, there's more going on.
Yeah.
If we tell you something, or somebody tells you something and that's not working, either you haven't given enough information, or it's been misdiagnosed. Yeah. So you have to kind of learn to roll with this and figure out what's going on, right? Because they saw a video of this tank at a shop I was at today, and they don't believe me that it's 2 months old.
Oh, because it looks that good?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's the way they were feeling. But I'm like, no, it's only 2 months old. I said, here's my year-old tank, and it looks like hell. Right. And it's like, well, why does it look like hell? You know, and waiting for that chance to jump at it and discredit or whatever the case may be. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, it looks like that because I've let it go since I had a really bad incident with it where everything kind of went stupid.
Yeah.
You know, I was losing coral, I was losing everything, right? So I managed to
Yeah.
save everything. And now I'm going to save that tank by baby stepping my way through it, cleaning it up, bubbling. Yeah, Tim, I'll send you a link. And, you know, kind of going through it and just cleaning it up. And I'm going to show that process hopefully too. And just show people like, no, you can deal with the tank at its worst, right? I got that urchin that's in there up front who's all full of stuff to go on my rock and start eating the algae off my rock, the coralline. That's why he's there. He was in here to help clean the hair algae with the big fat Blenny who's in there, Mr. Casper.
Yeah.
And they've done their job, and everyone's like, oh, now your Blenny's going to die. And I'm like, what do you smoke? I need to know what you smoke.
I don't like that constant negative, like, oh, if you do this, you're going to kill. So Nick and I talk a lot more about like the philosophy that surrounds it rather than like the, no, I mean, like what I'm saying is when he and I talk, we talk about like more like the philosophy that surrounds
Right.
it, which is kind of what I'm more interested in, rather than, oh, Annika, you have to dose 3 meals of this a day, and you have to, because that, and he says that a lot of people reef by fear, where they're like,
yes.
oh, I'm afraid this is going to die, so I better do this quick thing. And I told him that's not why I'm into reefing. I'm into reefing to like calm me down and like be something I can enjoy, and in a year I can be like, holy crap, look at where I've come.
You know
and because it's new.
You got it. You know what most people are like? Do you remember in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, when he's down in the empty dolphin tank and he's looking in the thing and it's his face and he keeps, you know, moving his head around, he's looking, and he ends up finding that little, you know, jewel that was off the ring? You know what I'm talking about, that scene?
Yeah, I think so.
Go look it up.
Like,
you can find it when he's in the
okay.
tank and he comes
Like-
out and he does the whole, the dolphin's going, you know, it's right before that scene. Right? It's because he thinks he sees something, right? That's how people reef. You watch them. They're up at their tank and their face is right there just looking for every little thing that's wrong. And it's like, why are you worried about everything look fine? You see this thing that nobody would ever see. And it's like, well, I got to be on top of it. And it's like, well, who told you you had to be on top of it? You know, you got to look for the broader picture of what's going on. You focusing on this little patch and thinking that's dino and nuking your tank because you just thought, well, I don't want dino. That's not going to help you. That's going to make it worse. You know, that's just it. It's like, and you're right. I think Nick's got that reefing with fear. We should do a channel about that, Nick. We'll
That's
just
what my, so
yeah.
just so you know, so once this bubbler, I planned out my videos, how I'm going to do my reef tank. Once this bubbler shows up, I'm going to do a time lapse of the before and after. And then I'm not going to post that until after I do my like introduction video, like talking about my tank. So right now my tank, it looks dirty, even though everything's healthy. Like I said, I'm like, I got a lot of the sediment, but it's not causing ammonia or nitrate spikes. So
That's all that matters.
yeah. So it looks kind of icky. Like people are going to be like, you need to clean your tank. And I'm going to be like, you need to go F yourself. You need to go somewhere else and quit telling me what I need to do.
That'll be it. To go fuck yourself.
I'm a big girl.
Yeah.
But like, you need to stop telling me what to do because I paid for this with my money.
Well,
So,
you know what? And that's just it. So go take your laptop, go get your laundry started. I'll go talk to the rest of everybody.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I love you too. So it's the way it works, right? You know, hey guys, hey Tim, hey everybody. Oh, Tim, I said I'd send you a link. Oh, Tim, can you pop your email for me because I deleted it? I actually remember that from the other night, and I did not remember the whole email. So I'll grab it at the channel right quick here. Once that's done, there we go. And that'll be the fun part. We should do that, reefing with fear, and we'll just like do the whole thing that way.
And we set up a really scary theme with just white sticks everywhere.
Yeah,
there's dead coral all over the tank.
You can look at it now. The tank is clean. Everything should be good. I don't know what's going on with these, but I've reefed this way because, you know, and you could have a lot of fun with it, right?
Yeah.
There we go. So Tim,
just call a lot of people to just collect in all dry SPS all over the place and that stuff. Just set up a tank, just tap water in it and set up everything.
Just
freak
have
people
fun
out.
with it, right? Just freak people out. And
Yeah.
Well, you got to reef that way. Why? Because the so and so said it. And we'll make up names for so
Look
and
at the
so.
nice tank. The car's all white and beautiful. Everything's doing great.
Yeah. Why'd you reef like that? Well, because I'm scared.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is that you shouldn't be casual. That's not even the word I'm looking for. You can be a casual reefer and be successful. It's more, paying attention to your tank is not the same thing as, getting ready to throw the holy hand grenade of Antioch into your tank every time you think you see something.
Yeah. I'm never
Just-
scared when you see my tank. I don't give a crap. You should see what we find in Mad Max. Mad's tank today.
Yeah, I saw Pelfrey's pruning there of cleaning it out. And that was a good thing to do too, because it was leading to other problems. He wasn't taking it out because they were dead. He had given them time to see if they bounce back, because sometimes they do. Paul's tank, he's got one. Yeah, see, yeah, it was dead. Yeah, look at it now. But people are so quick to go in. It's like if a plate dies,
white coral.
don't necessarily go in and remove the plate right away, because you may lift it up and find out, hey, look at that, you got 4. Because that one died. Yeah.
On it.
Now Mike's got some Cyanura coral.
Yeah, he loves them.
Yeah, I hope that his tank is bouncing back around good. Actually, I wish that on nobody. If you watch people's channel to watch things go down bad, there's a special place in hell for people like you.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I really, really hope that that's just it, right? So, what's going on, Nick?
Yeah.
Tim?
You should see what we found in
Reef?
Mad Dog's tank today, Craig.
Oh, and K-Reef,
yeah.
did the kid come along?
No,
No.
he's boring. I told him to push.
I think the other part of it is those types of people who kind of get joy out of watching other people's tanks crash and fail. They're living creatures. So no matter how much you hate that other person or they rub you the wrong way, you're like happy that living creatures are dying. That's why I think it's so sadistic.
Yeah. You're sad for the tank, but you're happy that it's crashed for him.
Yeah, that's it. It's Schadenfreude, sour grapes. Right? But best way to say it. Exactly. Your fish are still alive, you should be thankful. And it's like, yeah, that's what I'm thankful of.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
Kick your ass everywhere.
No,
Yeah.
so
Tank crash is always sad. It's a worth thing.
yeah, it's always a bad scene.
Yeah.
But
So have you guys-
go ahead.
The
Have
worst
you
part
guys-
always seems to happen to Michael when he gets new coral. Always.
Yeah.
You guys have seen DC Reefer's tank, right?
Oh yes. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that's my goals. The type of corals he has,
That's pretty
he
cool.
has the exact same taste in corals as I have. Like we have, so he has a lot of bright colors.
Oh yeah. But he paid for it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'd have
Oh,
more going on in here too if I could afford some of the corals I've seen, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a couple of things I got to do today. I got to get that Montipora setosa moved down, but I'm going to clean up the sand in front here so I can put it down into the left and get rid of some of that detritus and the die off from the algae, and a little bit of cyano that I'm getting, so that when I put it down there, I'm giving it the best chance to bounce back. I know guys who can't wait to reach in there, pull it off, and they'll stick it down in that crap and then wonder why that coral's now suffering. It's like, well, you took it from a place it's suffering and stuck it in a pile of crap. What did you think was going to happen? Probably nothing, but why not give it the best chance, right? So, just saying. That's my other big thing, folks. You'll hear me just saying. Yeah. But yeah, so we got K-Reef, whose kid just refuses to come out. I think he's saying something about you already. And Blinky's in here. Hi, Lisa. Blinky Fish. Her name's Lisa, for those that don't know. So yeah, so let's get some other people in here. Nick, you must be at work, are you? I'm figuring he's doing the firefighter thing, or he's doing something. Yeah, pretty much. That's the part of the hangout I think some people don't like too, is it goes quiet.
Shh, let's be very, very quiet. We are hunting Annika.
Yeah.
Better hunt Nick. He needs being hunted. The
No,
dog.
exactly. So Tim will be in here shortly, I'm sure. And you guys hear that? Shh, hear it? That's the sound of I need another cup of coffee. So I'll be right back.
You haven't got no coffee? Man, drink, man.
Nick is going to Mecca in Vegas, and he's going to have some extra days. So he said that he's going to auction off a meet and greet for anybody. he's going to just show up. You can let him sleep on your couch and feed him for like a couple of days. That's he'll give you free advice the whole time. A meet and greet, because he's coming to the U.S. and he's got some time off. So
yeah, I was thinking of going to Magnum, but I think nah, I can't buy anything anyway. So why go?
You can't.
No, I can buy and get home, but they will tax me to hell.
Oh yeah.
So doesn't even seem the point.
Is reef keeping very popular in Sweden, or is
yes,
is it?
We got beautiful.
It is
tanks
now.
here.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. No, but I mean, like, is it popular? Like, do a lot of people do it?
Yeah.
Or?
There are several forums about it.
Okay, cool.
So reef keeping is big here.
Yeah.
We even have a developer here in Sweden. So
I talked to a guy today about doing a cold water fish tank to get native Scandinavian, like maybe Baltic Sea region, those kinds of fish in a tank.
Ugly.
Ugly?
Yeah, they're ugly. Ain't they a beautiful fish here?
They're not ugly. They're not as colorful as salt, like the salt
that's what I said. Okay.
that we have.
They need color.
Yeah, who wants to look at a tank that's like blah?
Oh, look at that fish! It's green. Oh, that's not brown.
If you saw these tanks I was looking at, if they are gorgeous, they're just freshwater, and they're very much like river. It's like what you expect to see, like in Colorado or something.
Yeah, no, we got one here where I live. They have a freshwater tank of where all the fish lives in this river.
I have said, and will always say, the only freshwater tank worth looking at, and I'm going to go find it, and I'm going to link it. You guys will see. There's just no bloody reason at all
to have it.
to have one, right? So.
Wait, you're against freshwater?
I hate freshwater. It's boring.
Oh my god, that's funny because that giant tank I'm getting, I thought about doing fresh and doing a planted.
Now we start talking to you.
I'll keep my nano reef.
Yeah. Nah, actually, freshwater, they're cute, but the fish are boring and it's too easy.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna do it. I'm just kidding.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
Hey, what's going on, Tim?
What's up, Tim?
Hey, doing okay. A little bit of self promotion here. If you check out my channel today, you'll see why I'm happy as I can be.
Drugs? I was going to say drugs. You took drugs.
No drugs. Maybe later a beer, but not now. No, I got life in the tank. I got fish in the tank.
There we go.
I haven't got a notification from you at all today.
Well, I just put it. It just should have just gone up.
Yeah, 21 minutes ago. I wasn't looking, so sorry.
Yeah, it's up. The tank's got life.
There we go, man.
So
those out in the channel there that are listening in, hey, don't forget to go check out Tim's tank.
Hey, let me tell you a little thing I did on both tanks. I of course I matched before I put the fish in there. I did acclimate the clown first, but the wrasses. Well, the temperature's the same in both tanks. The 40-gallon breeder and the pH, the salinity is the same. So last night I had the wrasses, the two wrasses. I had these two plastic containers that there's not really sand on the bed of the tank. So I had these two plastic containers that you get, or actually were mushrooms that came in. But I cleaned those out. I put sand from the old tank after I cleaned it, put it in there, and the two wrasses have been sleeping in these two little plastic containers full of sand for the last.
There you go.
So last night, when I thought, here's what I'm gonna do when they go in there tonight. I'll give them about an hour, and I just took each one of those two little trays, one at a time, over into the tank. And I thought for sure they'd wake up or something, but they didn't. I put them in there. And so they wake up this morning like in a whole new world. So it's like, what the hell is going on? Where are we? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
but it worked out. It worked out real well. I don't know how I just while I was sitting there watching, I go, I could just take the box over and put it in the tank. And so there they are. They came out this morning. They were a little confused, but hey, it's all good.
Yeah. Well, think about if it happened to you. You woke up. Where the fuck am I?
Exactly.
The fuck is this?
It was like the night after a big drunk. You're like, what the
Refi
hell?
design, not hate. Annika, you can just kiss the fattest part of my ass with that one. I don't hate freshwater. I had a
I know. I'm just
freshwater
giving you
tank.
shit. I'm just giving you guys shit.
I would never, you know what? I've seen so many beautiful freshwater systems. It's that I think somehow I can handle the living animal of coral better than the living animal that is a plant. You know what I mean? Because when I touch a plant, I swear to God, you can almost hear my hands going, kill it now.
Also,
You know what I mean? Like,
The plant just needs CO2, then it's okay.
yeah,
You know,
CO2, but also with plants, the nutrient, like, oh my God, just from what I've read, I mean, Nick can challenge me on this, but from what I've read, the plants are a lot more difficult, or they need stricter parameters versus like corals. You can kind of veer off a little bit and they're okay, and you can kind of veer back and your corals are fine. Plants are like, oh, you forgot that? Dead.
Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking about Tom's broad statement there, extremely beautiful, but no challenge. There's some plant guys out there that would like really try to keep this in your tank, jackass.
Yep. There's some planted tanks that just the beauty of them.
Yeah.
And the growth. Yes. That's a challenge.
I think what people forget. Go ahead, Tim.
No, I was just going to say, I'm not a freshwater person, but I don't, one of the most beautiful tanks I ever saw, went over to see this guy several years ago here in El Paso. Matter of fact, the guy's passed away now. But he had a 300-gallon reef tank, saltwater tank, but he also had a 300-gallon freshwater tank, full of plants, full of life. I mean, I sat there and watched that for almost as long as I watched the saltwater tank.
You would. Exactly.
It was a beautiful tank.
Talent. You know what I mean? Like I said to one guy, I watch, if you guys like, they were talking music in Tom's channel earlier today. The most entertaining thing I watched at one point in the last 10 years was a band from Sweden, I do believe, called Apocalyptica. And they are 4 cellists that do hard rock heavy metal. Really? And it was the most interesting thing. Like they do Seek and Destroy by Metallica. And I was so enthralled and entertained. I went, oh my God, these guys are just the bomb. They do Unforgiven. And they did what it was. They met when they were in school and realized they all had this love of hard rock heavy metal. And they did that for their, not a dissertation, but their graduation thing when they did it. And it passed them. They realized that the validity of the melody is all that really mattered, right? And it's wild to watch. You know what I mean? So yeah, Apocalyptica. Yeah.
Apocalyptica. Okay.
Yeah. Trust me, if you Seek and Destroy on cello, it'll come up. You know what I mean? So, I'm not against anything. I try to be as open as I can about any hobby. It's what it is, right? Like, do we all like looking at my tank? Yeah, some people might not. I got a thumbs down there. I think somebody hates me. That's all right.
Yeah, you got to get one thumbs down.
Got to get at least one, or I'm not doing it right.
As soon as you notice 2 or 3 of those start happening at once, go check the participants list.
Oh, I already know.
Yeah,
I know.
You'll see who it is.
Yeah. Just dip the toe. Come on in. No, I'm all right, man. Join the hot tub.
But I put a thumbs down on videos on people I like, though. I just didn't like what they were doing.
What they were doing?
I put something in the comments. I think it was like Mile High Reefers or something. I got kind of upset about what he was doing with the tangs. He's like having a tang war going on. I'm like, come on, man. Save the tangs. So
save the tangs.
Save the tangs. Save the tangs.
You just gave me a T-shirt idea. Save the tangs, right? And on the back, Tang Police. You know what I mean?
Tang war.
Send the tangs to Michael.
And that's just it. When you get into it, my wife looked at me, and the minute I said, "Well, we'll get the blue tang out of there," you don't like it's picking on the clown. No. I said, well, what do you mean? No, you don't want to kill in the clown. Well, I don't want to kill in the clown. I said, well, your choices are kind of limited here.
Right.
right? I said, I can take the tang out, or we can leave it in and watch it. I said, or we can leave it in and it kills them. I said, so we have to make a decision at some point. If we're going to watch them and we see there's more damage going on to other fish because of this tang, I said, I'm sorry, my vote's he comes out. I said, I can't have that. I said, I got fish that work in that tank. I'm not putting up with that, right? And of course, then it's the bargaining starts. Right. Well, can we get some Avani Anthias, or can we get some Bartlett's Anthias, or can we get, I'm like, oh my God, you're trying to bankrupt me on this tank. Like none of these fish are cheap. I can throw, there's more than enough colorful fish in a decent price range, right? But no, she has expensive taste, this woman, I'm telling you. Hey, what's going on, Jeff?
Hey, I'll be right back in a minute, guys. I'll be right back in a few minutes.
Sounds good, Tim. But no, it's there's validity to any part of this hobby, especially when it comes to tanks, right? I just like to joke I hate freshwater because I personally, the fish don't do anything for me. Planet tanks are another thing entirely, but everyone's like, well, look how beautiful this Oscar is, and he just looks grumpy, angry, and like somebody painted him and he's pissed off it happened. So, that's just my point.
Oscars are ugly.
Yeah.
I don't like Oscars. Jack Dempsey's or whatever they call them. I knew someone when I was younger who, like, her dad or her granddad or somebody, I think it was her dad, had, oh, sorry, I just ran up 2 flights of stairs. Had Jack or whatever you call them. Those. I thought they were ugly. Like, I didn't even know why they had them. I was like, if you're going to spend all this money and time keeping a fish tank, why would you want these? They look like turds.
There's a guy, I'm
like
not kidding you, here on
shit.
YouTube, has bass. He has a big bass in his tank. 300-gallon tank. It's got one bass and then something else in it. I'm like,
that's the reason I like that. So I thought about doing something where I get like one goldfish for that tank I'm going to be getting, just because I can. Just be like, I have a goldfish tank, and people come over. It's this huge, beautiful tank with all this beautiful, and there's like one goldfish.
yeah.
But a bass, I could see a bass. You said 300?
300-gallon tank that he's got this
For
bass.
a bass.
Right? And he's big, though. He's a big mouth bass. He's already 1.5 feet long, right?
Is he a pretty bass, or is he just like some nasty thing?
Just a big mouth bass, right? And he feeds it.
Yeah.
That's his whole, and it works great for him. Bass something or other is the name of the channel. I don't get that. I personally don't find those fish appealing. That they look like a meal. But people like what they like, right? And that's where that comes from. I know people that like trying to think of the name, saltwater fish, and it's just ugly as snot to look at, like eels. My wife, no love for eels. I personally see the appeal. Wow, I'm gonna rub this all up, right? And like them. Me, I'm either way, right? And on top of that, I really don't want something in the tank that could screw me up in any way, shape, or form. But that's me, right? Other people keep lionfish. Like I'm watching Joey, King of DIY, and he's got that snowflake eel now, and he's got that Voltan lionfish in there, and I think it's a black Voltan, as I recall too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all I can think is there's gonna be a video of Joey stung by this lionfish at some point, right? I hope not. I'm not wishing it on him. It's just knowing par for the course how it goes, and or he's going to be uber careful and things will work out fine. We shall see, and I don't want it to happen to him, but I'm not predicting it, but I'm kind of predicting it.
Yeah,
because it's one of those things that in a 120-gallon tank with a large lion, you're going to be standing there with a net keeping him away from you while you're trying to work on that tank.
Well,
So-
I also
I had
have
one of
those.
those, so
I have
It-
those
it's been
yellow gloves that go all the way up to your armpits. The rubber ones. They're not rubber, but they're tank safe. They're made for fish stuff. And they go
Yeah,
all the way
except
up.
that the spines on this fish will go right through it.
Oh, yeah. What would be a really good freshwater if I wanted to go super minimal on how, like, I could do a school of little fish, but they're all going to get eaten. But if I wanted to go with like just one big, beautiful freshwater fish, or like 2 or 3 at the max.
A lot
So
of
it's
people
like
like,
a focus.
arowana.
yeah, arowana, but you
Asian
gotta have a
arowana.
bigger tank. But gouramis, you can get pearl,
Gouramis.
blue, and there's different colors of gourami.
Yeah,
They're
they're
quite
African. They're the
lovely.
only sticks.
I think I had gourami as a kid.
I'm partial to cardinal tetras because
Yeah, I
unlike
had
a neon,
gouramis as a kid.
the great thing about cardinals is the stripe goes all the way front to back versus halfway. So I really like cardinals. We used to joke at the local fish store here that the overflows were just, when they started to actually back up, it's because all the dead bodies of tetras that had to be in those overflows. Right. Oh yeah. And then a guy who was cleaning it out when they were redoing the store told me you weren't wrong. He said there was just sludge of guts, like just sludge of backups in those pipes.
Oh, that's so nasty. One of my LFSs, there's a space between two of their tanks. And when you poke your eye and look, it's just all snails, all dead, like just
dried out.
So
yep.
gross.
And that's
dried
it.
Out dead and in their own salt, like a strip of thick salt and all these snail shells. It's really nasty.
Yummy.
Yeah, and there you go. So I mean, there's so many ways to have fun within this hobby too, right?
Oh yes.
There really is. Like if you want to do a predator tank, like me and Reef Chiefs, he's got a grouper. It limits his options to the fish he can have because the grouper will eat anything that he can fit in his mouth, and even when he can't, he will try to find a way to rip it apart and try. Right, which means that he's damaging your fish. So I heard a really funny story. I would love to have proof of this, but I'd have to go dig it up and find it. It was a lady who had a largemouth grouper. I forget the actual breed, not leopard, but you know what I'm talking about, Tom?
Yeah.
God, a spotted grouper. That's it, spotted grouper. This fish is going to get huge. And she was bent over her tank, and it bit her titty.
I can actually imagine
like
that.
What part?
Right in
like
the middle.
Top?
No.
Went for the nipple.
Right for the nipple. That was in the water.
Oh, through her shirt.
Yeah, through her shirt. She wasn't like topless, right?
Okay.
Oh, cool, Nick. I can't wait. So I got to find it. It was a long time ago, and I went, you're kidding. And it wasn't that it turned me off. Actually, I couldn't stop laughing at the fact that this poor woman took a bite from a grouper. And if you go look up these groupers, they do have teeth, folks. They have actual teeth.
Wait, she took a bite. Wait, real quick.
So she's bent over her tank. Appendages are hanging in the water. Fish comes up, wham, and gets her right on the booby, right, and right on the sensitive part. So she ended up in the ER getting stitches. On there. He got her good. Yeah, bit her right through the shirt. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I'm not gonna go. There's no other details that I was given.
I've breastfed, and I know that that's an extremely sensitive area. And when just a human with no teeth bites you,
so can imagine something that's got razor sharp teeth that grabs a hold of you.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He just got it in his head. Normally they're very placid fish, right? But if they're hungry, thought it was food.
Got milk.
Yeah, got milk. Brr, yeah, I know another fella that took a poke from a lionfish in his neck because he was over top of the tank and he wasn't paying attention to where he was. And when he spooked him, he was at the top of the tank and he took it right in the neck. So, if you're going to play around with a predator tank, folks, just remember what you're playing with.
I had one. I had both lionfish and eels and sharks.
Yeah. So
I know.
Everybody's obsessed with them in the beginning because it follows what we call the pit bull rule. It's dangerous. Ooh, look what I have.
Dangerous.
And they're lethal though. These guys can do things that
Is a flower horn freshwater?
Flower horns are freshwater. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Maybe I should get one.
Yeah, those are nice. Get a flower horn.
Yeah, flower horns are actually Franken beans. I wish he hadn't given away beans, but he did for a good cause. Joey did. So he helped that fella out, that young fella.
If you get a freshwater fish, a flower horn would definitely be one.
They're not all ugly. Some of them, I think.
Some of them are quite attractive.
Red. Yeah, the ones with the brighter red color, I think, look good. It's unexpected. Like the first thing I thought when I saw one was that it had like a cyst. Like it looked like a hematoma on its forehead.
Yeah, it's
giant.
There was like it's extra food.
Yeah,
as a big one is healthy and fat.
Yep, and that's what you want. You know what I mean? Like
it's better.
Some people love them, some people hate them, right? Who's the one that helps out Joey once in a while? What's her name?
Rachel.
Rachel.
Yeah,
right?
dude, she's awesome.
She had an entire fish odor die on her. Did you
Oh,
ever see that
I've
video?
seen. Yeah, I've seen.
Oh, that
Yeah.
would just be heart wrenching, right?
She does.
Oh.
She does an amazing job at unbagging and like explaining everything while she's on like I'm just like, holy crap, I can't believe this chick. She's spinning so many plates. Like
Yeah.
she's really good at unboxing on camera. Live creatures. Yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah.
That was another sad one.
You know, and that's the thing that you take. Hey, DC. So help, everyone's getting off work. So yeah, it's one of those things with this hobby that people don't take into account is that, you know, why are the prices so high? Your LFS is the one taking all that risk that they could get that order. They're not getting the money back,
Yep.
guys, at
No,
all.
I know.
Right? So if everything dies in shipping, you know, they get the same thing we get, right? So, you know, if your LFS has been really kind to you and they're giving you a humongous break, tank looking good. Yeah, I gave Tom the finger, I know. So Tom will watch my video later. Hey, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah, I put up a video there, man. I put your swag on display. So, and thanks Nick for the RFGs. I can't wait till they get here, man. Yeah. So, you know, when you get down,
Sorry, keep
Go
going.
ahead.
I was going to tell him they turned off his super chat. I was going to ask him a couple of questions because I was going to hit up. So I have my partner manager. That's so when you on YouTube, after you've been around for a while, they assign you a manager. So if anybody like bullies you, like it's just they deal with all kinds of crap for you. They're like your assistant at YouTube. Sometimes it can take a week for them to respond, but he lost his super chat and he has over 1,000 people. And I wanted to ask him a couple of questions because I could, if he's close enough, I could ask my partner manager, say, hey, this guy's doing charity stuff for a school. He has a reefing community that I could pretty much just explain that this guy's like a valuable asset to YouTube. And because he's doing a charity thing for a school, it would be advantageous for both he and YouTube to promote him and allow him to accept super chats.
Yep.
So that he could raise money for this aquarium thing and just kind of like frame the email that way. And she'll be like, oh yeah, sure. What's his account number?
Well, get in
Or
here.
is-
DC. I only have
his name.
11 people, and it's probably the same 11 people you know. But man, you can talk about that stuff in my stream anytime, man.
And
I'll get there
DC, I
sometime.
love your tank. It's definitely my it's most close to what I'm trying to achieve in my nano.
There you
The
go.
same types of corals.
And Daisy's
My scape.
cheating.
My scape is a lot different. You what?
He's cheating. Gets free coral.
Now we're to go.
Whatever. He has good taste.
Yeah. I like his tank. Both him and CJ's.
Oh yeah, no, there's no tank I don't like. You know,
Everybody got a
there really
got a
isn't.
personality.
Yeah, it's you know, if I ever would give a shout out to Mark Callahan, he's right on one thing: know your tank personality, right?
Yep.
Know what your tank is doing, and know where you're going with it. And you know, let's be honest. I know people. You know, I've been in the music business. I've been out for a while, but I was in it long enough. I can tell you, I have met guys where I was sitting there going, you can do that all day long, man, but that's not going to go anywhere. Why? They don't want to hear it. Watch this. And I said, we're going to go up. I said, we're going to play a song I know you like. Yeah. Watch the song after and watch the different reaction with the crowd. So we did, if I remember, it was me showing off. Basically, we were doing Joe Satriani, right? So I got to show off a little bit. The next song is Honky Tonk Woman by the Rolling Stones. Ask me which one had the dance floor packed, which one had the people freaking out the most. Honky Tonk Woman, right? Hey, thanks, Mage. Always appreciate the thumbs up. I do. Yeah. And
I'm back.
hey, there's Tim. But yeah, so it's the same thing with your tank. If you play with your tank and your goal is to go in here and pack it with as much as possible, you're not even taking into account to let things grow.
Yeah.
Right? You know, if you've ever seen someone's tank and there's a frag, you know, and literally every square inch is frags. Well, those are going to grow if you're doing things right. And if they grow, they're going to grow into each other. You're going to get coral warfare. You're going to have things that you're very unhappy about that are going to start to happen. Zoas, right? My favorite are the people that go out. So you like those blue-green velvets in my tank, right?
Yeah.
big pallies, the big blue-green pallies. I would never put those anywhere but on an island in my tank because they're so invasive a grower
Yeah.
they will take over. So if you had
Yeah.
high-end corals near them, guess what? They're coming, right?
Yep. That's the GSP issue too. So I think I told you about that enormous
Yep.
Zoa colony that had a really pretty patch of GSP on top.
Yep.
And I just took a razor blade. There's a few polyps left that I'm leaving for now, but once they start to spread, I'm pulling the rock out again. Like I said, I don't want to mess with my scape until I start bubbling. I'm pulling that rock out and I'm scraping off the rest of that GSP and throwing it away because I have beautiful GSP along the back of my tank. I don't want it on my rocks because as soon as it hits my rocks, my corals are.
Yep. And then there's the bailout principle too. Like my favorite's Kenya tree.
Yeah.
Kenya tree, for some people, they love it. And I'm not against you having it. It's just remember that, like I had some in a tank this size, and it went from being over on the left side kind of deal to everywhere. I couldn't get it out. I was calc burning it. I was doing everything to kill it off in the crevices. It would just laugh and come back. Middle finger right up in the air. Not getting rid of me, son. Now the guy who bought that tank, who's super happy with it, seems to be doing okay. I've had a few good giggles. But that's what it is. I didn't make fun of him. I just said to him, well, you're going to have a rough time with this. And he all of a sudden, it's like, all I did. Pulsing Xenia is the way to go.
I've got Pulsing Xenia covering everything. Like every rock, I had a little thing of it, and I was moving it around from rock to rock to rock, and allowing little bits to grow on everything. So
yep, absolutely, and that's just it.
Pulsing. Mine's just the tiny blue. Sorry.
Yeah, the blue style, yeah. And Pulsing Xenia, I mean, that's a hit. That's a crapshoot, too. I know people who buy it. It's pulsing in the tank they bought it from. When they get it home, it never pulses. Nobody knows why they do it, so it can turn into an issue in the first place, right?
What did
yeah.
you mean, Nick, by Matrix? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Matrix your frags?
Explain yourself, Sir Nick.
Oh, shut up, Nick. Nick's he's doing a thing. He's doing his thing.
I know, he's a bell end. It's all good.
He's like, what you need to do is you need to start out with a nano. The smaller, the better. Because the smaller you go, the easier it is. Don't overwhelm yourself with 100 gallons. Start with 5 and just pack it full of corals until you're really happy with it. That's a Nick.
Oh, I saw the home wrecker Xenias. I saw them too. Yeah.
Let me Google that.
Go to Worldwide Corals and go look it up, guys. I didn't even look. Are those actually on sale now? Yeah.
Do they call them home wrecker because they're so damn expensive?
Probably. It's probably the color scheme too. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. A lot of people are flipping out over those ones. They're like ultra cloves, right? Ultra cloves are another one that, which I can't get. Thank you, Mr. Frickin' Urchin, for eating those off there, you bastard. That's the way to read properly. Yeah.
Don't feed him your corals, Craig.
Yeah, I know. I know, eh? Well, when I do that 5 gallon, the look on this woman's face when I told her what I was doing, she goes, "Will that work?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course it will work." Right?
Jason Fox, the Jason Fox, because he has a lot of corals that
yes, he does.
are like his signature. Is he diving and getting them, or why are they his corals?
Somebody else might be. I don't know. Honestly,
because they're not GMO, right? I mean, I just think it's weird that there's like all these.
Yeah, Gisanto's not selling seeds for these. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm like,
sorry, not Gisanto, Monsanto.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we knew what you meant.
I knew what I meant. Yeah.
No, because he has so many corals named after, like they're all Jason Fox, and my local fish store sells Jason Fox corals, but it's how he colors them up. Oh, so his lighting and such, and like nutrients.
Yep.
So he sells them, and then people put them in their tanks, and they lose their color.
Yeah.
And I know he slices them, and then you can like get to like especially the encrusting. You can get them to kind of merge. Like I've seen Monty's where they swirl. because they're both the same. They're both the same type of Monty Cap, but the way they kind of fuse together, it's really pretty, especially like green and orange.
Yes. A lot of it is he's taken the time to sit down and do what's called grafting.
Mhm.
So he'll
Yeah.
put two corals
That's
together
what
to
I
get
meant.
them
Yeah.
together, right?
Yeah.
And it's insane. Absolutely insane what these guys can actually do, right? And how come
After
I
it
can't-
grows for 5 years.
Well, it's all about patience, right? We talk
Yeah.
about that in the hobby. That's how these guys are doing it. There we go. So how much has anybody found them on worldwide? Because sometimes those guys can be buggers to find stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see home record.
Mm.
Den här guiden gillade mig jättemycket för saker. Hur mycket jag har i en berg.
Ja, men det är sovdags.
Mm.
Somebody's.
No, we'll see. If somebody finds it, tell me. We'll link it up.
Mm.
Yeah. You look at the most expensive plates in the world as well. Worldwide corals.
Worldwide, too. Yeah. It's like all you got to do is look up a Jawbreaker Fungia plate, and then go to usually those are getting sold on eBay. Those things are going for like $2,500 plus, and we're talking about one no bigger than what I have in my tank, which is like a 3-inch plate. So
Yeah.
that's all you need to know, right? Hey, what's going on, Melanie? And you know what? And
3-inch
that's
plate is
okay.
quite good.
Right, exactly. A 3-inch plate's a large plate, but can you imagine
Yeah.
buying that plate, putting it in your tank, and watching it die because your
That's
tank's not ready
devastating.
for it? And that's devastating, right? And I tell people, like,
Yeah. Oh my
don't
God.
get involved with that stuff. Go out and get. There's nothing wrong with Xenia. I know we love to harp about it. There's nothing wrong with Kenya Tree. Again,
I have both Kenya Tree and Xenia in my tank. I love them.
exactly. If you like watching stuff,
I love
float,
everything that moves.
yeah, and you're not going to pay a
It'll
lot
move.
to get that. It'll move, right? It'll do.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing that's attracting you in the first place, right? If you want to go sticks, get yourself into it, figure out exactly how to maintain that tank right, you know what I mean, and get it going the way that it needs to go, and then jump into it. So I thought, you know what, I'll try this new tank. Guess what? Those sticks are still alive up there. They're going to move because I'm obviously having an issue. I already know I am. No, everyone thinks that's a big tank. This is a 20-gallon. It's a 30-inch by 12 by 12. With a sump, which is 20 gallons and holding about almost close to maybe 12 or 13 gallons of water in it, with a skimmer, all the other accoutrements. Why are you covering your mouth?
Oh, I'm actually looking over some things for work stuff.
Oh, for work. Okay, I thought you were.
No. I while I'm in here, I'm like doing other things. I'm looking
Well,
at.
it's just that I have seen Tina looking at the crack, which is looking at coral sites and everything.
Yeah.
And you guys do that. Oh,
yeah.
I want that. And it's like, yeah,
I
we do
wish.
that too. Yeah.
No, I'm doing stuff so that I can afford to look in the crack.
Exactly, right? Somebody asked me what I'm up to with this channel, and nothing. I just have fun with it. If it ever sustained itself in some way for me, sure. I'm not going to argue about it, but I'm not out to do it. I'm more out about, well, and let me address something. Something Catchy just brought something up. So Something Catchy, yeah, this is my 20. I have kept nanos pretty much from the beginning. And have varying degrees of success. 90% of the time, I'm okay. I have had a couple of holy epic failures, and like holy shit, Batman! Like things just went wrong fast. But I'm been challenged by Aquarium Cabinet Solutions. You're seeing there, Nick, to do a 5-gallon bonsai reef. We figured out what it is that I'm up to here, and I'm going to do a peninsula style, and I'm going to go kind of fucking crazy with it. And the biggest thing we're going to do is prove Miracle Mud's usefulness. And the base of my substrate will be Miracle Mud with a layer of sand on top.
Awesome.
I'm going to let the tank partially cycle, meaning I'm going to get some ATM colony, and I'm probably going to get that poor little Wyoming white who's hiding under the rock saying, holy crap, this is the only place I can be that bitch ain't going to kill me. But he's going to go in there, no fish talk, taking a break. Well, off with you. Go away. You bother me, son. Nick. But yeah, that's going to be next. And I thought about it, and I thought, holy crap. I'm going to have to put a piece of tape over the headphone on my phone, or headphone on my phone. Jesus, I just sounded dumb there. The speaker on my phone, because even when I turn it down on a Hangout, it's still sort of there. This tank's out in my dining room, so I can't hear it from here. Yeah, maybe. And then what I'm going to do is you guys will actually be able to see the progression of that when I'm streaming, because the camera's going to be right there in front of it on my desk. So that's my goal. That's going to be, everybody can watch it happen. Go ahead.
Have you worked with the OBS? Have you used it?
Oh yeah, I've got it on my other PC.
Okay.
Remember
so
what we're dealing with.
Because well, I mean, I didn't, I didn't know. But yeah, I couldn't remember if you had said you used OBS or not, because then you can split screen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we do for our podcast, is we have like multiple scenes, and I was trying to explain to a friend of mine who's going to be starting his YouTube channel.
There's a few people that want me to get multiple cameras set up, because where I have 3 tanks, right? I could jump between my tanks. I could do all that stuff, and it's not hard to do. But its horsepower on the computer helps a little bit. And this one is an old duo core, 3.2 gig though, so it's still pretty tough, but it's old, and it only has 8 gigs of RAM, which is the bigger problem. And my little subpar video card that just does the job.
Is DC still in here?
I think DC's here. Yeah.
DC Reefer.
Anyway, but yeah, so that's where I'm going next, folks. So just hang tight. Eventually I'll get that out. For those who don't know, I left a job that was stressing me out and going to kill me. And in the meantime, waiting for, I live in Canada. We have something called employment insurance. I had to wait on that. The wait on that meant that certain things had to be hawked, for lack of a better word. And my really good rig had to go in because it's worth money. So, but I'll be getting it out soon. So.
Know the feeling, Craig. Know the feeling.
Yeah.
That's why I'm home.
Yeah, Reef God was like, hey, you should, get, what was it called? Super Chats, right? And I said, well, I got to hit 1,000 subscribers first.
Yes.
I said, once I get that, that's a totally different thing. I said, but I'm not out here to alms for the poor, so to speak. But, it's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there we go. So, but in the next coming weeks, that's coming. Yeah, I'm going to have a 5-gallon on the desk for everyone to look at. I'll upheaval myself on my desk. I have still yet to figure out where, but I think I'm going to do it to my left because it's easier. There's no sunlight in this room if I don't want it. So it's going to be kind of easy to deal with. So, hey, Tina, how you doing? Yeah. But yeah, so there we go. Yeah, no, but Tom, me and you've talked at length about stress and work and what it does to you. I think everybody knows.
Oh, God, yeah. All the bad thoughts they give you.
Yeah.
Didn't work on that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What do you mean you can't see the channel? Are you pressing the right button? Listen, I'm coming to Ontario and I'm going to beat the crap out of you. Yeah. But
Who?
yeah.
Tina?
Tina. No, Tina's in Michigan. I could still get there. It'd take longer. And I would never go to the States and do that anyway. No half-ass job. Yeah, you keep saying it. I'm actually may buy new rock. I was looking at the rock I have in my sump, Nick, and I don't know. The Tonga branches are a little thick. I may find a way to make it work. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. Yeah. Go ahead.
Somebody you mentioned using Streamlabs. A friend of mine uses that and does really good. She does robotics though, but she does a lot of like robotics education stuff. That's how she and I know each other. You could do Streamlabs. You could do OBS. People could donate to you through Streamlabs instead, because Streamlabs doesn't take 30% like YouTube does.
Oh,
it's one extra step.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one extra step. But what you can do, you can set up your Streamlabs with the same name, whatever you want to do. You can pull it. Sorry, I have a little assistant. I know that's. I know. And then you can pull it through OBS, so you can, how like Michael on his, he has like chat on the side with little animations. You can do stuff like that. I don't know if he uses Streamlabs. I haven't looked into it, but
but
I know that you.
Chats
There's Michael. Michael, you wanna mention anything?
What?
Any suggestions?
About what?
I had just mentioned, I was telling Reefer Madness, he doesn't have 1,000 people yet. So I told him instead, go use Streamlabs, run it through OBS, then he can split screen. So he has his aquarium or himself or whatever local camera. And then he can have the Streamlabs chat or whatever it is on Streamlabs. And then people could donate. So if somebody wants to give him $20 or whatever for something, or, you know, he could run a little telethon maybe.
Jerry.
Telephone really matches his age, doesn't it?
I'm just saying.
Sorry, Craig. I've got to get the dig. I've got to get the digging right away. You know what I mean? Get it out of my system.
Live from Tony Orlando's house.
I was starting to gain some self-esteem, Michael.
Oh,
no, don't.
No.
Keep him down.
Keep me down.
No, but she's right though. That's what I do on the gaming channel, because obviously the gaming channel doesn't have 1,000 subscribers yet.
Yeah.
So I obviously, with all of my channels, both Aaron's Aquarium and the gaming channel and my other channels, I use OBS for everything. And you know, I incorporate Streamlabs into OBS.
Right.
There is actually a Streamlabs OBS now. So
yes,
there is actually an OBS which is made up by Streamlabs, which makes things a lot easier. So I use that, and then obviously you can do the full incorporations. You know, obviously, you know, like when I get like the little dancing shark coming on screen and whatever else. It's just a little way of giving people a bit of a shout out for, you know, for the donation or the super chat or whatever. Just a little way to make a bit of a fuss of the person that's, you know, gone out of their way to, you know, dip their hand in the pocket or whatever to, you know, to show their appreciation. So it's good to, you know, to make a fuss of people that do that and, you know, really.
And I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah. I think you're right. You know what I mean?
What the hell's that?
I have no idea, son.
It sounded like somebody's just about to get arrested, and that's just before the door goes down. But yeah, so if you don't have 1,000 subscribers and you don't have the ability to super chat, you got to remember super chat's only been here 10 minutes. It's not been here that long. Super chat, before super chat, there's always been donations, whether that's through Patreon or, you know, using Streamlabs. Streamlabs incorporates with your PayPal.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you only get PayPal fees. So which is what, 3%, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's like 3.5.
Yeah, so you only incur those fees rather than YouTube taking 30. So, you know, you can do it that way. That's why I push more for people to donate rather than super chat, because obviously more of the money comes to me.
Yeah.
And you get it instantly as well, whereas with super chat you get it with your YouTube money. So, you know, on the 21st of each month or whatever, when you get paid from YouTube, that's when you get your super chat money as well. So say for example somebody goes, oh, here you go, here's the super chat, go get yourself a fish this weekend. It's like, I can't, because I don't get the money until the end of the month.
Until the end of the month. Yeah. Thanks, but
yeah. But whereas Streamlabs, because it's through PayPal, it's instant.
That's a good thing. Maybe I'm really happy. Well, like I said, you weren't here, Mike, at the beginning, but I actually got hit up at the local fish shop when I went today, and I was talking to them, and they're going to give me some percentage off to do that challenge with Nick. So the tank and some other little things that I do need, they're going to give me a cut rate. And I said, well, listen, I was going to ask you if I could come in and film your store, because I do LFS tours here too for the ones that we have. And they were just falling all over themselves that I wanted to do that. And I'm like, well, why not? You guys you don't sell saltwater fish yet, but you guys are selling the, you know, products that some of the ones that we need. And they were just thrilled as hell. You know, was something peach? What's that saying? Oh, wow. I just lost it.
Pretty as a peach.
Pretty. Yeah, exactly. Or, you know, they were just thrilled is the best way, I guess, to say it. And I'm like, no problem. I said, I'll get it up there, you know, at some point tonight. I got the footage. It's rather short. They don't have a big section. They are definitely like a PetSmart, Petco kind of thing, where it's mostly in Canada. You're not allowed to sell saltwater fish at those stores.
Yeah.
They are, but it's all custom stuff, so to speak. So for them to do it, they're taking a huge risk. And she hits me up constantly, the one running this store. And I'm like, well, you know, there's this and this. And I go through just like we normally do. And I'm like, you got to be careful, right? And don't get your employees that are so into it throwing you off of making sure when you do it right. I said, don't go too far, because you don't sell enough for somebody to actually start to finish. So we went through a list of what somebody would need, like I did with my beginner video. And she went, well, I have all that now. And I said, then you're ready to kind of start people off. But you got to, you know, remember, it's a different support system that people need from you than they would for freshwater. Freshwater, you can tell them to buy this, and they're done. Saltwater, they can go home and destroy everything. Like, they can't go home today unless they have some experience, kind of deal, you know, that kind of thing. So she was just thrilled that I'm willing to help her and her store try to succeed at this, right? And I'm like, well, of course I want you to succeed at it. I'd love to be able to come here and get what I need versus drive an hour away. I'll still drive the hour away because I love that store. But, you know, it would be nice in that 5 minutes to run down the road, right? Go ahead, Mike.
I was just saying, I had the same thing with my local fish shop, Marine 23. You know, I used to go in often and stuff, and, you know, obviously I helped them get the name out there, get them promotion and stuff like that. And same again, you know, they helped me. You know, they helped me with my hobby, they helped me with information, they helped me progress. And so, you know, I've built something with Aaron's Aquarium, so, you know, where possible, I share it and, you know, use it positively. So I did the same for them, and, you know, they're going up and up now. They've just done a merger with another company, and now they've become big on fish, and they're growing. You know what I mean? But obviously now it's not so much. You know, they don't really need me. Well, they do, but it's not really my place anymore. So I'm not really involved anymore. But I'm still happy that I helped. You know, I helped them grow with it, and, you know, wish them best of luck and stuff. It's just, I just go in now as a customer. I'm not a promotion tool anymore, unless they dip their hand in the pocket, just like everybody else. You know, they had a good run from me. You know what I mean? They had a good run from me, so you know, things like that. So now it's, you know, obviously now it's time to sort of like return the favour, so to speak, and if they can't, then, you know, it's not thingy. But yeah, back on Streamlabs and stuff, everybody can use it. You know, everybody can incorporate it, and everybody can, you know, get donations, whether they've got 1,000 subscribers or not. You know what I mean? So it's not hard. Obviously, it's a lot harder than just turning on Hangouts. But with everything, you know, if you want that little bit more quality, if you want that, you know, you want something better, you've got to work towards it, haven't you?
You do, and that's what I was thinking about, because of wanting to do that 5 gallon and put it on my desk and actually be able to do that at the same time. Which I can kind of do now, but I kind of want to take it a little further. So that's what I was.
Well, that's what I was doing with it until I broke my HDMI cable and the company asked for a new one. I was using my 4K camera as my face camera. So obviously, you know, good depth of field, you know, good clear imagery, blah blah blah, you know, from my face. And then I was using my web camera, which was permanently fixed on the tank, which I call Tank Cam. And because I use other incorporations from Elgato, I use other things from Elgato, it gives me the ability to just press buttons and just switch between cameras and scenes and all the other stuff. When you really start getting into OBS, you can get really, really, really adventurous. You can borderline produce a proper high quality TV show live, all on your own.
Right.
Like as you've seen with my live stream, you know, slowly but surely they evolve, they change. I started off doing it this way, you know, where it was just one screen, hangout type thing, and then knocked it up. But everyone can do it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's what I was thinking, because hold on. Okay, drink, then talk. Okay, so you know, when you get into it, and what it was today is I just had a few people that, well, while I was doing this, mentioned they had been watching my streams. They were thanking me for, you know, doing it. It taught them how to do, you know, and all of a sudden that one realized, oh my God, you're streaming now. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that too. I still want to make videos. I said, because videos are, you know, an easier way to kind of get what I want across without an interruption, and talk about what I want to talk about. And we can debate it later versus, you know, trying to set up a camera and show you something I'm doing is a lot harder, especially if I'm digging at a sump or I'm doing something. You know, blah, blah, blah. Simple and nice fix. Yep. Thank you. Sorry. Comments coming across about my fix for my skimmer, which worked really well, I might add. Because, yeah, bubble blasters are metric, not imperial fittings. So, yay. That was interesting. I just used a Dremel and fixed that problem right away. So, but yeah, it's, you know, when you get down to it, that's what I was thinking is like, there were a few people the other night said, man, I wish you had Super Chat. And I'm like, yeah, well, I got to get to 1,000 subscribers. And then Annika brought that up, and then you bring that up. And I'm sitting there going, you know what? I am actually doing some adjustments to my equipment tomorrow, which is my computer stuff. We may see a new look tomorrow. Maybe not.
One thing I would suggest, though.
If you want.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, go.
I was just going to say, one thing I would suggest if you are going to do it,
right?
Be yourself. Don't copy anybody.
I know what you're talking about.
Don't emulate anybody. Don't copy it. Be yourself. You know, put your own slant on it. You know, do whatever you need to do. Make it your own. Don't look at somebody else's and go, I like what they do, I'm going to do that. You know, be yourself. Do it yourself. Incorporate yourself. Make it your own. Streamlabs OBS can do anything you want it to do when it comes to live streaming. So don't limit yourself, you know what I mean? Even if it means you don't actually fire up like that type of stream for another couple of weeks. Exactly. You know, you just get on Photoshop and create imagery and scenes and whatever else, and you know, do all your stuff, because a lot of work goes into creating the backgrounds and the foregrounds and the overlays and your lower thirds and everything else.
Yep.
You know, a lot of time goes into it, so you know, just take time, no rush.
Yep, and that's just
so can you.
Oh, exactly. What? And that's what. Well, no, I'm not saying that, Tom, but I know.
What did he say?
He said, "If he can do it, so can I."
Yeah.
All right. Somebody wants their Bubba.
Sorry, she like makes up words. Oh, the other thing I was gonna say, if you want to do a stream, Nick and I. Okay, I get it. Nick and I have talked about like some camera stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to do a stream and like title it something to the effect of like camera stuff, we can come in if we're both available, and we can just start talking you through some stuff if you want.
Yep, and that's probably
like
where where we're going.
Yeah, because like I said, like my podcast partner, the reason I have him is because he's done this for a living for years.
Yep.
Professionally, like for, you know, local Houston radio and sportscasting and all of that stuff. So he's the one who like got me into OBS. They don't use that for television, obviously. They use
but it's
well, another good one, but it's $800 is, I think it's called vMix. I know a lot of people use that. That's for like television quality though. It's $800 software.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be there yet.
No,
I'm growing in baby steps, right? Just like a tank. Let's do this in baby steps. It's not that I don't understand this stuff. It's more knowing I understand it well enough to use it where it doesn't go completely bonkers and it isn't working. So that's what I'm working on tomorrow, right? So it's apparently there's a home wrecker pulsing Xenia, but I haven't been able to find it yet.
Worldwide Corals doesn't, if I put home wrecker, if I put a space or no space, I still can't find anything. Sorry, I'm trying to get my little one to take a nap. That's why I'm up here with her, but she thinks it's playtime.
Whiskey or a baseball bat?
Whiskey or a baseball bat. Little bourbon on
the gum.
Yeah.
Baseball bat's the quickest.
Yeah.
But I don't think
you should hear what they're saying about you.
About who?
I'm talking to her.
Yeah.
Baseball bat might be a bit harsh. Actually, she's only small. Rolling pin.
I don't see this. I think Nick was having fun at us because I'm not
What's he
seeing
saying?
this crafted. He probably is. I think he's taking the piss out of me
What's he saying?
that there's a homewrecker pulsing Xenia.
No, there isn't.
I haven't found it, but
There is.
it's supposed to be a homewrecker pulsing Xenia. If it exists, I think Nick's funning us, but you never know.
He's pulling the tip of your bell end like a
I think he is. Yeah, he's just flick, flick, flick. Look at that. No, Craig, it's real. Go look for it. You know. But if I know people have been trying to graft Xenias together to get different morphs, so whether or not they show up, we'll see.
Careful those polytoxins though.
Isn't one of the issues that you have? Because I was thank you. Sorry, I'm trying to get her to take a nap.
It's okay. Kids are cute. It's not like she's
I know.
Yeah, no.
I know. She's just being silly, and she's wound up. She needs a nap. So, so what I was gonna say is Xenia at the very bottom, like I've been, from what I've researched, is when you frag them, you need to make sure that the tissue, the external tissue, that you cut the frag high enough so that is glued to the frag plug or whatever you're gluing it to, so that the tissue can immediately start growing. And you should be getting like 1 millimeter a month, I think is what I was told.
Depends on light, depends on water parameters and stuff like that.
So much, yeah.
Because like I've had pulsing Xenia in my nano now for how old's my nano? 3-4 months, something about how old it is now. What month are we in? Month 4?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 4 months old. And I've had pulsing Xenia in there for probably 3 months. It's not grown a bit. Because there's nothing in my water. I've got no fish. So, and the light's crap. So I don't do anything. But if we was to change all that, which will happen at the end of the week because Freddie's going in.
Yes.
It'll probably start growing.
Yeah. And he's going to be a nice source of nutrients because he's a predator. So,
well, the filtration's going to have to come off. The lighting's going to have to come off. Everything's going to have to come off because it's not adequate for him. So this is the thing as well is with tanks is, as Nick likes to use at the moment, reefing by design. You've got to plan your systems around what you want to do with it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And obviously, I've decided to go with frogfish, which is a dirty fish. You know what I mean? It's going to be eating a lot of protein, should we say? It's either going to be eating shrimp or it's going to be eating fish. You know what I mean? So there's going to be loads of poo. So obviously there needs to be adequate amounts of filtration in there to cope with that. And what I've got at the moment, all I've got is like a little waterfall with floss in it. I haven't got the adequate enough flow to compensate for that. So I'm either going to stick a hang on the back on, which I don't really want to because it's frigging ugly. When you're trying to have a certain look, or I'm going to grab a hold of a canister. Canister's probably where I'm going to go, like a fluval or something like that.
Like a little 106 or how big's the tank again? Your nano?
50 liters.
Yeah, so a canister would be great. A 206 would do that just bloody fine, actually.
A 206 would overdo it probably because I think the 206 is rated 200 liters, isn't it? So.
I think it's 200 liters is the max for that one. So, yeah, maybe a 106 just to. Wow, I lost track of where I was. Not in here of what I was doing on my desk. That's great. Yeah, so it's too bad it wasn't a little bigger because there's a canister filter called the Cobalt EXT.
Can't get Cobalt over here.
No, you guys can't get it, eh? That's a great canister filter for those that can
get
it.
I've noticed like with certain companies like that, most of the stuff that they have a rebrand. Yeah. So I could probably get it here but under another name.
Yeah, because it's got an inline pump, so it lets you actually clean the filter. So you when you slide it across to get it off, it actually keeps the water flowing in the tank while you're actually working on the media that you're cleaning. And when you put it back in, you know, and you open it up, then it starts going through it again. Just a really cool design for people that want to use that. And that, you know, when we're doing reef tanks, the whole problem we have is keeping the life support, you know, going while we're doing anything. You know what I mean? Jeez, I'm just
get some sugar down your neck, you old bastard.
yeah. Get them up. One of the two. I'm having a senior moment here, folks. Jesus. You know,
there's something that sounds similar to that here. It's by a company called Awaza, and they have a canister filter, and it has a pre-filter.
Yeah.
It has like a little tube, like a cylindrical tube, a bit like a reactor shape, and it's a pre-filter. So rather, because obviously the main thing about canisters is people hate opening them. You know what I mean? To clean them, and so they do it less and less and less. The great thing is about this, it's just got this little tube which you just twist and pull, clean it, put it back in, and you don't have to maintain the canister itself as much, because obviously the pre-filter itself is which is taking the majority of the crap.
yeah.
You can actually just pop that out without actually having to open everything up. So it's
Right.
it's a nice one.
That sounds like an awesome one too, because again, that's a big problem we all have with canister filters, is that you got to maintain them so much to keep it clean.
Yeah, that's it. So I'll probably have a look at one of those. The problem is I'm going away.
Yes, you are. Wait, where are you off to, Mike? Not that we don't know. Where are you holidaying?
Oh, in the UK. I'm only going in the UK.
Good.
Nowhere special.
So you're not going to go anywhere nice weather.
It might be nice. It might not, but the area that I'm going to is beautiful.
Nice.
You know, all around the area. It's down south, down where all the southerners live. But the area is nice, so it'd be nice. Taking the drone with me. Gonna do plenty of. I'll probably do some vlogs and some. I'll definitely be getting a lot of B-roll. Definitely doing a lot of drone flying.
Excellent.
You know, on the beaches and stuff like that. Doing a bit of photography as well, because I've started getting into doing like photography, more landscape, but you know, a bit of photography as well.
Excellent. So that thing you asked me to do for you is actually being professionally recorded tomorrow, by the way. So that's professional. Yeah, it's not just going to be me doing it here like this. I can do it. It'll be fine. But I was talking to my buddy, and we're going to go full on. You know, it's a big M audio setup that we're doing. And I'm
if you want to record a little audio track as well, you can do.
Oh yeah, we'll do something that doesn't, you know, copyright. You know, something kind of like what you heard. Yeah.
I could get music that's non-copyright, but you know, something that's a bit more personal. Always nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, we're definitely. I'm gonna do. You know, I got your back.
By the way I wrote it, you can understand where I'm going with it, can't you? You know, a bit of a, you know, Saturday Night Live type, you know, jingle type, hypey, punch, you know, that type of thing. You know, pure energy.
I'm going to do it a bunch of ways for you. Like I said, the B-roll, you know, I'm going to probably do 3 or 4 the way you want, you know what I mean? And a couple of you could pick and choose, and a couple where I may even, if you want, and I'm going to do it, and I'll punch it back in there for you so you can see what I was talking about, not in here today, but when I send that back to you with, you know, you could use these spots at this marker to actually talk to me. You know what I mean? So, I mean, sit there, you know, wait a minute. What are we talking? Go ahead.
Get creative with it. You know, obviously, you know the script. I'll give you the script.
Yep.
You know, and then, so you know what I want, you know the way that I'm going. But sorry, everybody that's watching this right now. I know we're being very cryptic, but
yeah, we don't mean to be.
It's a surprise. It's a surprise.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know where I'm going with it, and you know, you can sort of like, by the way that I wrote it, you can envision where I'm going with it. So, you know, follow that track, deviate a little bit, you know what I mean? Because you might think of something that I didn't, and then it'd be like, oh, that's a fresh way of thinking about it. Yeah, do that. You know what I mean?
You got it.
But obviously, if I don't use it, I don't use it. But you know, if I do, then it just shows that, you know, obviously your creativity is better than mine.
I have my moments. No, I was, you know, yeah. What do you mean you don't like what I'm doing? Yeah. But
So
no,
I've got a good plan, right?
yep.
Like just before you're about to do it, drop your sugar levels a little bit, and then go in. That'd be awesome. A proper delusional one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, I'm not drunk. What are you talking about?
There you go. There's one.
There you go. Now listen. Yeah, do with this what you want, you muppet. Yeah, Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so yeah, you know what, how I want to do it. So the plan
Exactly.
is,
So things to come, folks. Look at that. But no, and that's just it. I figure I'll have some fun with it. And it's the same thing with what I'm going to do with the stream, guys. Same thing. It's just I'm going to be trading up to doing things, the look of it a little different, because we all hate how Hangouts works sometimes. It's great to get him in here. I love having Mike in here, Annika and Tom when he's here. And I don't know where he went, but he popped out. So I'm imagining something's going on. And of course, Tim, Jeff, when he gets in here. And Jeff, no, I did not change the aquascape. It is a different angle I'm using right at the moment, and it's cleaned up that much. So, and it would be cleaned up even more tonight. I actually have a water change ready to go, and I'm going to clean up some more of that substrate after the big die-off and whatnot that's been going on from the work I did to get to this point. So that's where I'm going with that. And yeah, that's it. So let's get to talking, folks, some more. We, blah, blah, blah. Where all the mouthpieces are here. But we could always use a few more. You got a question? Don't be afraid to ask it. Ever. I know there's probably only 8 or 9 people here still, but you guys always ask questions. We always try to provide the best answer that we have.
Annika, did you finish that robot? Yes, no?
No, I don't think she heard you. Annika.
What?
Mike asked,
did you finish robot?
Yeah.
If I what? I heard 2 people go at once.
Did you finish that robot? He asked.
Muppet say what?
Muppet say
I
what?
got the wheels and the casters put together. I got the encoders put on the axle, but I didn't program anything, and I didn't get the boards. But the bottom of the...
Are you eating fish and chips? Little fish? Oh, that's it.
Oh, they're tasty. Yeah. I was getting the whole wheat ones. I don't know if you've seen, they make them with whole wheat now. And
there's no point. What's the point in eating something like that in a healthy way? They're supposed to be naughty.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. But no, these are my kids' food.
Is that goldfish? Are you eating goldfish?
It's goldfish crackers.
Oh, vanilla. No, vanilla cupcake. Oh
my God. I got those for my kid. I don't remember what it was. There was some special something or other. And instead of getting her cookies, we got her those. Yeah, those are really good. Yeah, they're good. Have you guys heard of Instacart? You know what that is?
Nope.
Okay, so it's like you go on. So we have a store here locally. It's a Texas chain called H-E-B. And you go on, and they have, I guess, a contract with Instacart. Go instacart.com. I think you can get like a year free. That's what I did. I signed up like months ago. And otherwise, it's $70 a year. I think they'll do like your first shipment for free. They might not have it in the UK yet. But you go and you like do all your grocery shopping online. You tell them, and you can get down to, I want this specific package of this. If they don't have it, then I want this one. And if they don't have that, then I want this one. Or you can tell them like how many ounces of stuff, whatever. Or you can just say, I don't care what brand. I just need like 3 cans of albacore tuna fish, like, stuff like that. Just say what's on sale. Like you can leave notes. A human being does all your grocery shopping for you, drops it off at your house, brings it into your home, and like puts it in your kitchen. They don't put it all away for you because they don't know where you keep your food. But it's super cool. And what made me do it is I done it once, and you can tip them. I mean, I don't give them 20%, but I give them a decent tip. And then the other thing is, what was it? Oh, so one night we went grocery shopping, just me, my husband, and our kids. We were gone 2.5 hours. And that made me realize, you know what? Yeah, we need to like just go on there. The other cool thing is if you've made a shopping list before and you've purchased a bunch, you can go in and see what you've previously ordered, so you can like re-add it. So you can so if you have a really strict diet where you only eat certain types of foods, like say you're limited to, I don't know, say if you're on keto or sugar free, it's really easy because instead of shopping through the whole site all over again, like you can just go and press and repurchase everything. Or you can just pick what you need.
Guess what?
What?
We've had that for years.
Oh, you have? Okay. Well, no. I thought you said you did. I thought you were gonna say I'm an Instacart driver.
No. We've
That's
had it
the
for
old
years.
thing.
All of our supermarkets, you know, we've got one called Asda, which is basically your Walmart.
I know it.
Yeah.
I know what.
And Tesco and Sainsbury's and all the other ones.
Tesco too. Yeah.
Yeah,
we have Alta out here now, out in the suburbs. Isn't it
what?
German? Alta? Aldi. Why did I say Alta? Aldi. We have Aldi. Aren't they German?
Yeah, German. Yeah.
Yeah, we have them out here in the suburbs, and yeah, they're not quality, but they're budget friendly.
Hey, seriously, like get away from the brand label and taste the food, and then go to some shop where it'd be like, you know, the same type of food and taste their food. Honestly, sometimes it's like, bloody hell, this is actually nicer.
No, I mean, I do a lot of farmers market and stuff. Like we get our meat from my in-laws. They live out in the middle of nowhere on hundreds of acres, and we get a half calf slaughtered and put in the freezer. So that's our meat for the year or 6 months.
There you go.
Yeah, but
Nope,
no, I mean it's not all brand labels, but yeah, a lot of it also is convenience. It's really easy.
So I'm going to answer a
Did you say
question.
calf?
Calf. She said calf.
Like a 1 or 2 year old baby cow.
Baby killer.
No, it's not a newborn. It's like
DC
under 2 years.
DC Reefer will be pissed at you.
Yeah.
No, we've talked about dietary restrictions before. He and I we respect one another's dietary decisions.
Yep, exactly. I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't eat vegetables. You stop telling me I don't eat beef, right? And you know what? Actually, I'm a big chicken killer. I don't choke chicken.
Oh, when I go to Macro, I'm gonna get BC Reefer, absolutely steaming, drunk, blooded, and then I'm gonna film me eating a cheeseburger.
you know if he's a
it's gonna be like The Hangover, and we're all gonna be blooded in the desert, covered in cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
If he's a full-on vegan that's been a vegan for years, that could actually make him really sick.
It would make him feel very ill. Yeah.
I know it.
He's not a vegan. He's a vegetarian.
Oh, I thought he was vegan.
He's vegetarian and he goes on a vegan diet for 90 days.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, so he's like part-time vegan.
Part-time vegan. I like that. I'm a part-time vegan.
Know.
You know when I'm a part-time vegan? Right up until I eat a burger. Yeah.
I fast for 8 hours every 24 hours where I don't eat anything. People might think I'm crazy.
You know,
I do intermittent fasting.
You know, it's funny. Tina's here, and I know she just thinks we're a bunch of bell ends.
No.
No, you sure?
No.
We're only getting one answer because she don't want to go into it.
No, go into it. Yeah.
No, I was trying to get a word in, but I'm just going to sit here and be quiet.
No, so what's up, Tina? I saw you lurking. What's going on?
We eat mostly venison that we take down ourselves.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Just don't look into its eyes after you kill it. It takes your soul. So.
Yeah, no, actually, my husband kills them and puts the damn things on my wall.
Oh. I did. I got a buddy of mine does that. And I walked in and I just pulled an Ace Ventura. He goes, "So, man, what are you thinking?" I said, "It's a lovely room of death you have." Right? Yeah.
My husband and his brother have this thing going that they have to put the biggest buck they get. I've got 4 of them, I think, on my wall right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, and it's fine. You know, I'm not against it, you know, especially if you're eating it. I
love venison. Yeah. I don't eat beef that often anymore because it's not good for my cholesterol and that. Venison is very, very low in fat.
Correct.
It's almost like no fat.
It's
pure protein.
Have you had the moose yet? Have you had moose?
No, I haven't had moose.
Yeah, you would freak for moose. Trust me. If you like venison, you would freak for moose.
Yeah, we've tried buffalo, and I didn't like that.
We ate
Moose is
reindeer a lot
delicious.
when I was younger.
Moose steak.
Mm.
Put in an oven for about 8 hours. Man, it's good.
Yeah, that's like common in Sweden. That's like our beef. Like you guys are like, oh my god, have you ever had moose? I'm like, I don't think I didn't have moose. Like
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
Wild boar is good as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same
Oh,
thing
yeah.
with. I think for you guys, you have a lot of elk in Sweden.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's a
Caribou.
lot of elk.
Caribou.
Caribou. Caribou.
Caribou.
And and that's just it. Like, don't ever say you won't eat it. It's just like I said, don't look into its eyes after you kill it.
I don't care.
Yeah, some
You can
people
kill them
don't.
and eat it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
My
It's meat.
uncle's
Put it in my face.
I went hunting with my dad and my uncles just to watch when I was 12. And I was walking up with my boots in, my cute little boots in. And I was walking up and my uncle had turned and emptied a bladder all over my brand new boots. And I was like, I was done with hunting. Just moose piss. It was reindeer piss, I think, all over my boots. I was like, nope, we're done.
Yeah.
You can't get it out. It's
Yeah.
you just have to
Sometimes
throw 'em away.
adults do the darndest things, don't they?
I probably shouldn't have been like walking up behind him after they're like gutting or what do they call it? Dressing a deer or whatever they call it.
I got to take my my boy up to the range on base when we were still living in Hermukto, and he was fascinated by what I had done. And I had asked the range, and I can't go into detail here because technically what we did is not allowed, but he got the fire at TAC 50, which is a 50 caliber sniper's rifle, and on a bipod. No, he was not holding it because he couldn't. But we couldn't stop laughing because when he fired it, it pushed him 2.5 feet back. We patted his shoulder so he didn't break his collarbone. That kid, that's the memory. He'll never let that go. He just thinks that's the greatest thing ever. He didn't even hit anything. Right, you know what I mean? But for him, it was just the most thrilling moment to do that. But the bad part is, he said, I don't know why you guys were laughing at me. It's like, you had to picture what we saw. You just went 2.5 feet back instantaneously. It's the most hilarious thing we've ever seen, right? So, and Mike, the Tough Mage would like you to check your Discord, please.
I did. I checked it the other day when she said, and I can't see it. I don't get Discord fully yet, Mage. I'm trying.
There we go.
I don't fully get it. I did check it. And I saw a message from you, but like it just said 2 words. I'm not going to say what the words are, and it wasn't bad words. It wasn't F off, but it just said 2 words. And I don't know what else is there, so I don't know what I'm checking for. So hang on, so send it me again, or I don't know, because hang on, honestly, mate, I've got no clue fully yet about Discord. I'm trying. I've got my own little server and everything, but as you keep noticing, every time that I go to post, I think I'm posting in my server and I'm posting one of the other million servers that you've got. Deathmage has got about 15 trillion servers and
like channels, you mean?
Yep.
Channels, yeah.
Channels are inside your server.
Yeah, and then
like pages,
kind of. I'll get a notification on my phone. Somebody's commenting, so then I'll press on it and it won't take me to where it was. And then it's like, which bloody one was it on? I was like, sack it. Don't even care. I can't find it. I give up. I've just got one. I've got one for my gaming channel, one for Aaron's Aquarium, and then I've got just 2 chat rooms, a general chat room and one for the Friday night live stream. So when we do the Friday night live stream, everybody's just there. Boom, done.
Yep.
It's too much hassle. But Mage, I've looked. I ain't got a clue what I'm looking for. So just message me on Facebook.
Yeah, let's keep it simple, I guess. Yeah, there you go. And if she gives any more info, I'll let you know. Yeah, Discord is the server. That's what it's called. Well, there's a Discord server and then channels within a server, as I recall. But yeah.
And you can take actual calls through like when we do our podcast, we bring people in. Yep. We use Discord to bring them in.
Yeah, we did it with Bubba because when we were setting up Fortnite. You can do video chat and everything. Basically, you can do everything that Hangouts can do. Just better, I feel.
And better.
Yeah. So, like we did it with Bubba to try and sort his PlayStation household because with Fortnite, what we play, you can actually cross-platform. So, you can play on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, all together. So we was trying to sort that out, but he kept telling us that he was doing something, and we just couldn't get our heads around it. So eventually, we just turned the video chat on Discord, and then we worked it out.
She's going to give you a call on Discord, she said.
Give me a call on Discord?
Yeah,
right,
she's
okay.
going to call you. Yeah, you can do that.
Ooh,
I use,
for,
you know, it's funny.
Everybody, Death Race is calling me.
Michael,
yeah,
one thing.
I know you're all jealous. What? Sorry, go on.
When you open, make sure 100%, because I made this mistake, but fortunately it didn't. Nothing bad happened. When you open a new channel that's got the voice icon, like down on the far left pane at the bottom, when you've got like a voice one, make sure you mute yourself and you mute everybody, because if you're like in your room just chit chatting, anybody on Discord who has access to your server can hear everything you're saying.
Yeah, I always forget to do that. Paul, I have an audio mixer board. So
there we go.
I just turn all that down.
Dude, your Discord is open in your voice, and I can hear everything you're saying in your office. Unfortunately, it was not like anything bad, but still, he was like, your Discord's open. I'm the only one in here. I'm like, so that's, if you're new to Discord and you don't know how to use it, that's 100% something you want to do, because people will start making YouTube videos of all the stuff you say.
No, yeah, I do. I honestly do forget to turn it off. But like I said, I use a mixer board, so because all my audio goes through the mixer board, I just turn all the sliders down, so then there's no audio going through anyway.
Don't you have like you don't even need to do the sliders, don't you just have at the top, each channel has its own like pretty much an off and on?
It has a mute button.
Yeah.
But it's the same situation where it has an LED light to say that it's muted or not. But I can see the sliders, you know, when they're not in alignment and there's a couple up, I know it's on, then I slide them down. You know what I mean? It's just, the LED can be, like sometimes it can, you know, I can think, does the LED mean it's on or off? You know what I mean? So, you know, I can confuse it, but with the sliders, if they're down, everything's off. Either.
Cool. So let's see. Anybody got any reefing related questions? Since we went full on technical there, you know, welcome to that. We do that all the time, folks. So Blinky, sounds good, buddy. And so Blinky mentioned, I put my video up there about fixing my skimmer's noisy ass problem after I lifted it. Blinky, I didn't bother putting, they were already rusted. It's a used stand. It was custom built. I'm going to be buying the soft close hinges for it, and I will be putting Vaseline on those hinges to protect them from rust. I'm actually going to be buying a particular product, I'm hoping, ahead of time. And I got to look it up and see if I can get it here first. But it's kind of like they use it on turbos to actually protect turbos from rust and moisture. So, and it's supposedly non-toxic. So we'll see. So that's where I'm headed with that. So Tom, you're back.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm just trying to watch everything. I'm actually I'm doing pretty good, folks. Welcome to the run in now. I was just trying to talk to Aaron. Oh, that's I'm just checking the chat. So that being said, yes, change is coming for me as well. Surprises coming for Mike at Aaron's Aquarium Sunday night live. I guess is I don't know exactly what he's calling. I'd have to go look, and I'm not giving anything away. I've been asked to do something. I'm going to do it, and hopefully it works out and everybody really enjoys it. It's one of those things that, you know, everyone asked me about doing this, and I was a performer for 30 years, off and on. Well, you know, the whole bloody time. Even when I was in the military, I was still playing in a band. I just couldn't do it full on board, because guess what? They really don't care what else you're doing in your personal life. You're going to be here on Monday morning, and you're going to be here for 3 weeks, that kind of thing. So that being said, you know, let's see where we can take this and have a little fun, because, you know, it is a community. You know, we all do want to come here. We all do want to have, you know, similar goals, you know, so to speak, right? And do I love the Vaseline? I don't know if I like it. I don't know what you're insinuating there, Lisa, but yeah, bees might have a problem with that with me and you. I'm just saying. Right? And for those that don't know, and I did say it, you can use Vaseline on a metal hinge that's in your reef tank, and it will actually protect that metal from rusting, like anything else. Sorry, what's that, Tim?
When you run the Vaseline, never mind.
There was a scream in the middle of the night. Who put sand in the Vaseline? I've heard that one before.
No.
Yeah. What?
It's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. What do new bride? You know, it's like the old joke here in Canada. What do new brides say in Newfoundland? Get off me, Dad! You're crushing me smokes. You know. I'm just saying. The silliness has begun, folks. I'm telling you, it is. It's here. So
It's begun. It begun this morning.
I heard you. I loved hearing Cruz sing.
Yeah.
That was the best part of that.
Weird.
You know, I'm like, all right.
Cruz was saying.
Cruz was singing.
It was crazy.
It was awesome. So was well, I know Jeeves was actually telling me how he was trying to, his mic wouldn't work. Was that what it was, Jeeves?
Yeah, I got it now.
You got it now, yeah, but it was kind of funny. I'm like, it's a good thing I wasn't in there, because man, when they were talking about something like wrong answer, that is not who that was. But I just, you know what, that's the thing. When it's music, it's one of those things. I jump right in like, no, that's not who that was. But in all honesty, the topic of what they were talking about. It wouldn't have mattered. It was just me being pedantic at that point and trivial that you got the wrong person. They had the right song, they had the right melody, they had all that. So does it really matter that he was talking about Smokey Robinson? Not at all. You know, was Smokey Robinson ever a member of those bands? No. But he sang with them. So. Did somebody...
No, I was listening to it in the car when I was driving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. He keeps saying he's going to do a karaoke stream. And I said, I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to sing monotone. So it doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to sing it like I've heard karaoke. I hosted karaoke in the off seasons for bands because guess what? I could make money doing it. So of course I did it. I'm a whore. You pay me, I'll come play. Is the way I look at it. So, you know, if you want me to stand up and host for you, I'll host. You know, whatever. So one of the funnest things I ever did was, and I would do it for Mad Dog in a second. Is you pick a hit song. And I will come on and sing it as mono if I know it. I got to know the song, right? You know what I mean? But like I just did it recently with Bruno Mars, Locked Out of Heaven. You know, never had much faith in love and miracles. You know, and just did, just had a blast doing it that way, right? And of course, some people get mad; they don't see the humor in it. I think it's fucking hilarious, personally. You know, because let's face it, seeing a bunch of drunk people singing, that's hilarious. Right, and that's why that's still going today, folks. Right?
It's more fun to record it.
Yeah,
Show
even better. Show them later. Listen, you're going to give me £50,000. Why? Nobody wants to see this, right? Yeah. So what's else? Yeah, Bruno's great. He is a super talented guy. You seen him doing any Michael Jackson stuff yet, Vicky? That is awesome stuff, man. That guy is super talented. He really is. Yeah. You know, we started off as an Elvis impersonator when I think he was 3 years old, right? That's what blows my, like, there's actual pictures of him. Oh, yeah, no, go look it up. Bruno Mars doing Elvis. I mean, like,
I could totally see him being an Elvis impersonator at 3. That's kind of cool.
You could just see that love of performance. That's the big thing, right? So, you know, unlike some others that we could name, whatever. But yeah, so, you know, speaking of the reef tank thing, anybody else got any questions? Anybody do anything new with their reef?
How are you liking your Fungia plate?
I love that thing. It is angry at me. It's not suffering in any way. If you look, he's fully extended, but I'm not feeding heavy. So I know it's looking for food because it's kind of dancing around in the tank, the food. I've watched him catch pellets and bring them up and eat them. So I know he's getting enough. But I have noticed in the morning what we call the gaping anus. If you look at the mouth of a Fungia plate, it's hilarious to actually look at. He's doing that because he's trying to he wants more food, right?
He's showing his anus. That's
he's showing his anus. You know, how many
got
corals?
Butthole, and I feed it.
Yeah. I got a butthole in my tank. A what? Never mind.
Show me the butthole.
Yeah. You know, I'll name him Bungholio. Yeah.
With the TP.
With the TP, yeah. But
With
no,
the TP for the bunghole.
How's your tank doing, Tina? I know it was doing good there last night and everything. Any changes? You said something about your zinnias exploding in growth?
Yeah. Just noticed that when I put my zinnias in here from the last tank, the 3 times the size they were. So I got a feeling my lights are beast.
There's nothing wrong with those lights. They're not. I don't even know if they do sticks. I think they're close to it, the range. So their spectrum is really good. They're the Marine Orbit ones, right?
Yeah, they're the Marine Orbit IC Pros, and the box and the stuff, the instructions or whatever said that it wouldn't be able to grow high end SPS. But as everybody can see in here, I have a plate and it's got a lot of growth on it, and I've also got a bird's nest over there, and it's got a lot of growth on it.
Exactly.
But I don't think that they're considered high end SPS.
No.
So, and then I was also told that I wouldn't be able to do an anemone in here, and well, I've got an anemone in here, and it's doing just fine.
Exactly, right? It's a mileage may vary thing, right? Your tank's not too deep. You got 2 of them on there. You know, those are the key differences, right? So yeah, no, that's fantastic, right?
I'm glad I didn't listen to what everybody else said. So
yep,
I had a few naysayers that was telling me not to worry about getting the light and this, that, and the other, but everything that I looked at, I don't know, I felt led to get these. So
Tina, it's your tank. You do what you want with your tank.
Exactly. It's your tank. It's nobody.
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, like how I was there was a period of time there for about a week and a half where I was kind of being told what to do, and it was kind of stressing me out because it felt like it was overwhelming. And then just a couple of different people were kind of telling me just calm down. Your corals are fine. Your water is fine. Yep. Chill out. Quit, like
CJ says, be easy. I love that that's exactly what we talk about. Relax, chill out, right? If nothing's dying in your tank, right? And when we say that, it's fine. You can fix anything from that point. It's the only, and even then, I have a coral in that 20 of mine, guys. Okay, you can actually see it if you look. So you see the plate, and right above it, there's a coral there. That is called a firecracker. It's a derivative of sun coral. It's a type of NPS.
Yep.
I want to see it closer. Do you have what colors is it?
He's orange. He's straight up orange.
I want to get a pitch black sun coral.
Yeah, you can get them. They're rare, by the way. They're hard to get a hold of, but I have sun coral now. Oh yeah, they're
about the black ones?
My LFS
the black
has
ones.
A bunch of them, and he offered me a killer deal on them. I didn't know they were rare.
They're rare, as in most people don't keep them because they have no color. They're just black.
Oh, right? That's my favorite color in the whole wide world. Always has been.
Black.
They have a.
Hey, hold on. Pedantic alert. Black is not a color; it's a shade. Anyway, so.
Okay, sorry. Lack of light.
Lack of light is exactly it. You got it.
I mean, when it comes to clothing and stuff like that,
all I wear is black.
I like neutrals. Like throughout my house, everything's on a neutral, very modern neutral palette.
Yep, I'm goth. I was goth before it was cool. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So. When you look at this stuff, shit, I just got sidetracked. All the hell, folks.
Yeah, you were talking about your firecracker, and I veered you off the path by asking what color it is.
So
that's NPS. One of the ones I thought about getting.
Yeah, so NPS are, wow, I still completely lost where I was going. It's all right. Anybody remember?
Nope, we ate in your mind, Craig.
Yeah, it's gone.
No, hold on, you were talking about the firecracker.
Yeah, so this firecracker and that sun coral that's over on the sand bed, I got to get them feeding again, right? And they're and they'll mix it up, right? Hopefully they will. So the tank, it's too clean. I know the problem is, even though I got 25 ppm nitrates in here, this tank I've got it too clean, the water column. So what I'm doing to solve that, I'm changing out the filter sock today because it's starting to overflow. It's getting to that point. I'm going to now leave it. And I'm waiting for the cyano in the sump to die. I just lights out the sump for 3 days. It should kill most of it. And when I do my water change today, I'm going to feed Reefroids because then it'll go through the system, right? And then it's basically, and I'm all credit where credit is due. That's Nick from Aquarium Cabinet Solutions that told me to do that. And I'm going to try it, and we'll see how it goes for me. And I'm still going to bubble, because that'll lift that stuff out, let my skimmer get a hold of it, and skim it off top of my tank. There's a few changes in here that are coming, but they're minor changes, right? I'm not going to go in here and wreak havoc. I don't need to. You know, you look at that torch. I wish Paul was here, because I know Paul was like, torches died. They died. Look at that thing. Look at that thing in the corner. You know, I know the flow of my tank is enough. If you look, you guys can see it, right? Yeah, I really lost where I am, guys.
You're at home, Craig.
My brain literally just, yeah, you're done, man. You know, thanks for the sugar, buddy. Yeah. But yeah, there we go. So no, I'm just more interested. You know what? I don't need to talk about me. I really am thankful to everybody who comes here. I really am. You know, and that's no matter what. You know what I mean? As long as you're not in here being a bell end, I really couldn't care less. You could have whatever opinion you want. You're allowed. I love watching Tina's tank. I really do like that she comes in here, because there's someone who's got a tank that's, I'd almost call it mid-established. Got a brand new 75, but it's coming from an older tank. So to watch that tank flourish for her, it just thrills me. Oh, the lights. There we go. I knew it would come back to me. So what's lighting got to do with anything? I look at it this way. I use Chinese black boxes that I modify. I don't know if anybody noticed that. If you watch the video on the 120, you can see them up there. I have to clean them all the time because I keep them low. Right now, the one that's on my 20 is super high. It's 18 inches up off of this tank. Right now, that was a couple of decisions that led to that. So then somebody asked me about lighting the other day, and they asked me about the Marine Orbit system. And I said, there's nothing wrong with it as long as you're not trying to ride the light up high. Right? You know, a 2-foot tank, you're gonna have issues with some coral. Your tank is 20 inches high, as I recall, Tina? 75?
I think, let me check.
I always, yeah, 75s are weird too. There's a couple of different models, but I know it's. Bring it out the tape measure. Tape measure.
It's, well, from, I would say 20, but from the bottom of the sand bed to the top of where the water is, I'm going to say 18.
18? Yeah. So there you go. So it just proves the point. Here's your coral, right? You got bird's nest in there, and it's not bird of paradise or one of the more uppity coral, as I like to call it, for lack of a better term, right? It's not a demanding coral, high light, high flow, high demand, right? Which is, that's what you want, right? And that's it. Your expectations of your tank have to fit with what you're actually using, right? When you really go ahead.
I don't want high-end crap. I just want a beautiful tank, and I want stuff that's easy to take care of.
Right, because you don't want to be fighting it. Right. Yeah. It's almost like you don't want a drama tank. Right?
Yeah, I don't want a drama tank.
You got it. Exactly.
I got enough drama in my life. I want a Zen tank.
No, Zen tank. I want to come home and relax and look at my tank, right? That's what I feel for Mike, Aaron's Aquarium. He actually fully explained to me, and I'm not letting anything out of the bag. A hard part for him is that he leaves in the morning, it's barely on, and when he gets home, it's off.
Yeah.
Right?
That's hard.
You know, that's hard, man.
Could he shift the hours, the light hours, so that it's on for a couple of hours? Like, just slowly change it by 15 minutes a day?
He could shift it, and it takes work to shift it out.
Yeah, so, no, I kind of figured.
Now, this tank here doesn't come on until 10 in the morning, and it goes off at 11:30 at night. Right? Now, everyone's like, oh, my God, you run your lights for so long. And it's like, well, I'm willing to put up with the issues I'm going to get from that.
Yeah.
Like, my other tank, go ahead.
I was going to say that's what mine is 12 hours, but I have a steep, like the ramp cycle. Mine's only 6 that it's on full.
Right. Now, that's what I tell people, right? Like, I don't think that matters at all. I think me and Nick had a long conversation about ramping lights, and we were like talking about it. And I'm like, what's the difference? My blues come on, the corals light, you know, I think, and I'll bring up something. Don't let me forget something about lighting. Okay. So my lights come on, my brights come on, give or take about 2 hours later. They go off 5 to 6 hours later, and then the blues stay on, and then they go off. Now, the only thing I might agree with, and it's more for the fish that are nervous and like to jump, a lot of people have noted that their fish jump when the lights come on. So bang, they come on right away. Right. So that's why you got it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying that's why you ramp it up, because you don't want to scare the fish.
Right. So here's the trick. You can buy something from Current USA, okay, which is who makes Tina's lights, by the way, those Marine Orbit IC Pros. They're called lunar modules, and they sell them for Neptune. Neptune sells them as well. You can get them on a controller, and they leave a very faint blue light on all night, which is a lunar cycle.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like the lunar cycle.
Right, and you can actually get a combo of them if you want. So you can have a white one and 2 blues, or whatever the case may be, and create moonlight. And if you're trying to breed like that fellow right in front there, a Bengay Cardinal, and you want them to breed, because they will readily breed in your tank, that's what they're for, right? But they also seem to keep the fish from wanting to jump because they get freaked out, right? So that's really what it comes down to. On the lighting front, that's all I've ever had an issue with lighting. I don't really think ramping makes a difference. Nobody's proven it to me. It's all anecdotal at best. My corals seem to do better. Okay. You know what I mean? Maybe you just need to shorten your light cycle, but it is good for some people like Mike who want to have their lights on when they get home. You can lengthen the amount of time the light's actually on because you're ramping it to full. So you can make it take a lot longer to get to full, so that you're not blasting your coral with light for too long, causing algae issues or tissue recession or STN or any of the other issues that can come. Burnt tips is usually the bigger problem some people have. But yeah, you know what I mean? And I love, you know, that's something I'll probably get in with Nick and a few others there talking about and Cruz, because they're really up on that. That's, you know, those guys, well, I know for a fact Cruz grows coral for a living. Where does he work? Elegant Corals. You know what I mean? So he'd definitely be the guy to ask, right?
Yeah,
you know, bees, that would be. And I do believe that's something I can do with that other program, is pull pictures out of the chat and show them for people. So that's where I want to make changes, because I really, and maybe you guys can agree or disagree, I try to run this like a radio broadcast. You know, like talk radio, we just have the ability to have a little video with it. So it's not really TV, it's more radio with pictures. Does that make sense to anybody? So
It's the same as just little chit chat.
yeah, exactly. What I'm trying to do is create an environment for everybody to come in and let's talk about our tanks. Let's talk about other people's tanks. You know what I mean? Of course, in a friendly, or not necessarily an unfriendly way. You know what I mean? If you've seen somebody's tank and you don't get it, maybe one of us can say why that person's doing that. Or maybe, yeah, they are just wrecking their tank and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I get that all the time, Bees. Thank you very much. Everyone says they enjoy listening to whatever the hell us crazy arses are doing in here, because I enjoy doing it, right? I know it's driving my wife nuts. I will say that. And my wife is a little, not mad. What is it? It's like you guys are taking me away from her. And I went, well, if I was playing it, yeah, right. And you know what's funny is it wasn't that it's that. It's the timing for her. So that's why I started a little later today, and why I'll end a little earlier. So if I want to go 8 hours, I can, because we've already been running 2. So 6 hours from now is still plenty of time for the way my life works, right? Yeah, somebody said they like listening at work. There's you, and I think there was someone else that said they listen at work all the time too. And I enjoy that. And I like to get people in here that know stuff.
That's
you
a
don't
fun
even
part.
have a tank, you liar. You got tanks at work, Nick. Do you even have tanks at home? You're lying. You lie. You sack of poop.
It's a ballad.
Nick's just, he's the master troll. He's the professional troll.
Professional troll. Yeah.
He's just collecting our information for the some UK police department.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's it. Yeah. Tank police. He's tank police. Right?
I saw his badge on his shirt the other day.
Did you?
When it was just he and I talking. Yeah. He has a little badge. It's gonna.
Oh yeah. No. I love, you know what? Somebody
No,
asked
like
me,
I'm serious. He actually does have
Oh, I
that.
know he
I'm not
does.
making that up.
I know.
Okay.
You keep eating your goldfish and go make me a sandwich. She's going to come in and rip me a new ass here in a second.
No, I was gonna go make you a sandwich.
Oh, okay. Well, off you go. Yeah, right. And you know what? And that's okay. If she makes me a sandwich, getting to Houston, it's going to be a cas. It'll be stale. Ooh. But no, so, you know, that's just it. I want you guys to don't be afraid to give me ideas either. You know what I mean? And don't be afraid to email me, right? Because that makes all the difference. Go comment on my videos. Tell me that you think my tank looks like shit. I'm not going to be bothered by that. You may have a point. You know what I mean? But it's how you say it, not what you said, right? Yeah. And that's
if
really
sing it.
If you sang it, I would be Craig's tank.
Your tank looks like
shit. Yeah.
Throw it away.
30 bucks full of floss to start some cleaning exercise. Don't clean it too much though, because somebody actually went on. I saw one of the comments somebody made about that dude, you can clean it too much, and it's like, really? If you looked inside my tank, buddy, I can clean the inside of my tank spickety span clean, and it's going to be dirty in 20 minutes. I guarantee it. Exactly. I clean it more or less so I can keep an eye on things. That's what I do. Next step in my sump is going to be Miracle Mud in my 120. That's where I'm shooting for. I have some other stuff to do first, but the wife's like, I thought you were getting heaters, and I'm like, my heaters work. It's all good.
I think I'm gonna 3D print like a cup with a handle with a drop down that fits down in the back of my all-in-one to put the Miracle Mud in.
Ooh, good idea.
I also thought, could I put the Miracle Mud in like a filter bag? I just don't want it all over.
What do you think, Nick? I wish Cruz was in here.
Nick doesn't know anything. He doesn't even have an aquarium.
See you guys later. I have to go to bed now.
Well, do you?
Bye-bye.
Toodles, buddy. Thanks for dropping by, Tom.
Yep.
Good night.
Yeah, he'll be back. Wife will kick him out of bed, tell him he's a bellend. I know he heard that too. So it's
yeah, she was speaking in Swedish earlier. She thought we couldn't understand her.
Yeah, some people, yeah, exactly. And that's okay. Yeah, that's just it. I try and explain that. My wife's not mad at me because I do this. She just thinks that, as usual, if I was playing in a band, the same thing happens. Except in a band, I'm gone, guys. When I'm gone, I'm gone. I'm not home for weeks or months on end. And I don't miss it. I don't miss lugging the gear. I just miss being on stage. And it's like, why don't you play locally? If you knew where I lived, you knew why I don't. Right? Or know why I don't, not knew. Wrong tense. But yeah, so.
Were you a lead singer, or what position in the band were you?
I started off as a lead guitar player. And then we figured out I could sing. I took a few vocal lessons as far as, learning how to enunciate and use diction. And which is why when my bottom teeth went, I was able to actually compensate. All right. Because it is tricky, by the way. Try talking without touching your teeth.
Yeah, you don't sound like somebody who's missing your teeth.
No, not at all. And it took a lot of work.
You sound, I was surprised when you told us that you lost your teeth. Because, Yeah,
I was not happy at all. That's why you don't see a lot of videos of my face for the most part. I really, really, really got self-conscious about it, and I'm getting it corrected. And then I'm going to have Hollywood stunners, man, and not white. They're going to look like Hollywood stunner chalice. Be my grill. But no, it's what it is, and it's something to enjoy, this hobby, right? So that's why I try to do what I do with it, because I enjoy talking about it, and that's what bothers my wife. It has nothing to do with I'm doing this. It's that I'm talking about tank all the time, and reefing in general. She wants to talk about it for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Oh, let's get this. I can talk about it at length and enjoy the different aspects of what we're talking about. So that's it. She's great, otherwise fully supportive. So, and when she knows, and now that she knows that people are actually paying attention and watching, even more so. So, but her new shift changed at work, so that's what made her cranky. And I feel for her. I don't like my shift when I was working full-time to change. I don't know about that, Nick. Seemed like a handsome feller to me. Oh, yeah. So I love it that I love couples who reef together. It makes it easier. I always feel for the girls or the guys that their significant other doesn't get the hobby. That sucks. In anything you're doing, that sucks. So anyway, moving on. So
I think,
go ahead.
with that, I think there can also be a balance, because
there has to be.
because my husband is obsessed with mountain biking. I think I said like that's where like his money dump for hobbies is mountain biking. He'll drop,
Oh, yes.
10 grand on a bicycle and then break his ankle. And
Yep.
so when we were first kind of dating, we were talking about bicycling, like one of the first conversations we ever had. And I was like, oh yeah, I just bought a new bike and all this.
Yeah.
And he was trying to be nice because like my bike wasn't a multi-$1,000 bike. He's
Right.
like, oh, what kind of bike did you get? And I was telling him, he's like, oh, that's a good bike. And then later after we were dating for a while, he's like, yeah, no, I know.
That's a piece of crap. Yeah,
But-
exactly.
No, well, no, it wasn't a piece of crap. It's not his type of bike. Like it was the same brand as his bicycle. But it, like I said, it wasn't a multi-$1,000, and it was, I have a roadie, and he's a mountain biker. So big difference. But he was like, that was what we had in common, is that we both owned a bicycle. And so, his hobby, like he tried to get me into it at the beginning.
Mhm.
I just have no interest. And then we realized over time that it's actually kind of cool for us to have our own things that we don't have to, because we have a lot of overlapping interests.
Exactly.
So, like, I don't give a shit about mountain biking, and he likes reef tanking stuff, but he's kind of out of it. And yeah.
And that's just it. And you know what? If you think about it from that point of view, that's, wow, we're giving, by no means are we experts on relationship advice, folks. We are not. This is not Dr. Phil, just letting you know, right?
Dr.
How's
Phil.
that make you feel? So, you know what I mean? But it definitely is something that it's finding a balance between what you're
Yeah.
doing, what they're doing, and making it meet in the middle so nobody's feeling left out or hurt about it, right? And that's
Yeah.
where streaming, I know I don't get it. I think what was the longest I went so far, guys? 15 hours or something. For me, that was excessive, but it was a good, fun day. But I don't want to do that every day. I want to be in here and keep you guys entertained. The minute it starts to peter off, and we get away from it. It's one thing to get away from it from a little bit. It's another thing to get away from it for a long time, right?
Well,
That's
I
what it
can't give you relationship advice, but I can definitely give you advice for how to break up with someone. Because
You
like-
don't say.
oh yeah, I'm like really, really good. I'm like a professional at like breaking off, like not going on a third date. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, I got a PhD in avoiding third dates.
Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about what I'm good at. So, being in a rock band for 30 years, use your
Brown
imagination.
chicken, brown cow.
Yeah,
Brown, brown.
exactly. So, yeah, listen, money's on the table. It's that simple. But yeah, folks, it's it's a hobby at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We take it seriously as we want, and be that as it may. So, Saltwater Jeff, I did notice your comment on the video. Thank you for commenting on that video. Did I actually help you out on how to solve that problem with the Bubble Blaster, aka Reef Octopus metric piping? I'll tell you what I wish I had was a belt sander that I could have actually just done it that way. It would have been a little simpler. But yeah, Dremel tool definitely, with the flat, basically, I don't know what the hell they call that bit, but it's a sanding bit, perfectly flat and round. So it actually let me just, edge it out and angle it.
It's a disc. Was
Yeah.
it like a diamond disc?
No, it wasn't
like
a
a disc
disc.
cutter?
It was like
what
a
was it?
sanding bit. Yeah, it was a cone sanding bit. So I actually just rounded the edges off. So I made a wedge. So when I put the pipe on, if you watch the video, you can actually see what I did. And it actually made it so that the water wasn't shooting down into the sump, making a ton of splashing. And now it just drains straight down. So, which is what I was trying to do. So I'm pretty good at the DIY stuff as well. I don't prescribe or subscribe to DIYing everything. There are certain things that if you can get it professionally made, why wouldn't you? And there you go, Jeff. That'll work just fine. Yeah, and I'll let you just do it light, man. It doesn't need to be super thin. You don't want it to go too far in either, because then it makes it hard to actually get that pulled back out. Phrasing. So when you do it, you'll see what I mean, right? And it just lets it's 1 inch. So if you got a Super Octopus 2000, all the piping on it's 1 inch. Technically, it's not. It's whatever the millimeters are. Maybe Nick can help us out with what the millimeters would be, but Yeah. So, yeah. But you get that waterfall noise from it. Exactly, right? And that's what you don't want. The only thing that should ever make a waterfall noise is your emergency overflow, because it should be warning you that something's wrong. So, yeah. Yep. 200 internal. I think I know which one that is. Yeah. So, mine's the external pump. So if I wanted to, I could actually run it outside of the tank. I just choose not to. Not really into that. Anything that's a failure point for me is exactly that. It's not an if, it's a when for me. So I really just don't feel like dealing with my sump spilling out onto my floor, because I just didn't have the patience to make it work internally. Like you can see cucumber in the overflow. You got it, Jeff. Yeah. Did that die in your tank as well? I never did get to ask you that, man. Or did you get him out and he was still alive and everything's fine? Because usually cucumbers are pretty bad news when they nuke your tank. When they die. Oh, I gotta wait too, by the way, folks. Remember, chat's 30 seconds behind in here. What would be 1 inch? What would be the equivalent in millimeter pipe, metric piping?
25.
25? So
yeah, 25.4 millimeters per inch.
So 2.5. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's why it doesn't quite fit. It almost fits, but it doesn't, because an inch is just a little bigger, isn't it? The outside diameter of the inch pipe. Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what that is, especially the joint, because the 1 inch pipe will fit right in to this joint, but that on the outside is just too big. That's why I had to make a wedge. So, thank you very much. So yeah, but just to let you know, reef octopuses, they're a metric. It really ticked me off to no end, actually. But that also could have been, I could have needed to actually get the pipe to make it fit and then put the elbow on it and all that too. So I didn't even look at that. It's my bad. I didn't even try that. I could try that though. I'll let you guys know. I still have the ability to do that. So, but it's low flow, so I didn't have to worry about gluing it or nothing. I was just trying to quiet it down, right? So what's going on, Jeeves? What's happening, mate? You're awful quiet today. Really?
Oh, just hanging out, listening.
Yeah, I hear you. You at work, or you're home, aren't you?
I'm home. Yeah,
you're home. No. So, how's the tank?
Doing good. Both of them are doing good.
Excellent.
I'm gonna go run checks in a little while.
Yeah, I did mine. So now it's I got a little bit of work to do here a little later, but it's not a rush to do it. My lights stay on until another couple hours, few hours actually. So I'm going to do my water change there. I got to check that salinity in a minute, and then from there, my skimmers, I don't know what to call it. It's the gate valve for the skimmer, the overflow for it.
Yeah, the outlet valve.
Outlet valve. There we go. So the outlet valve, when I raised up the skimmer, was actually up out of the water completely, right? So it was actually making a shit ton of noise. And in the video, I do let the noise through a little bit and showed the difference between that and then me running. The basic idea was like you would on a Durso or on your main drain on a tank, getting it below the water line so you don't hear it splashing. So I rigged that up, made it do that, and it now works like a charm. It sounds great, and it's skimming nice and dry too. You'd be proud of me, Nick, right up until you called me a dick. So, and that's fine. I can live with that. Yeah, I'm pretty thrilled. I had a good day overall, just having a good day. Cool. Excellent, Jeff. You come home sore and be bitching about it. Good luck, sir. Don't overdo it. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get that stupid Bengay Cardinal to eat pellets. I tried garlic. I tried soaking it in mysis. He's just making me mad. Anybody got a tip for that? Anybody ever get a Bengay Cardinal to eat pellets that didn't want to eat them or had that problem?
Mine just did it.
It's a tool. Nope, I got a feeling that I'm probably going to wind up putting my Wyoming White into my 5-gallon when it's done. I can see that coming. Because that girl right there is not digging him being in the tank. So I don't want him to die because, one, he's an expensive fish. And two, I like him. He's got a nice personality. She's a bit of a bellend, she is, if to use a word. It just sucks. Because, man, I don't want to feed meat to this tank all the time because it's going to load up the nutrient level in this tank. I mean, I can offset for it, but we'll see. I'll get it working. So, Tina, how's the gyre working out? I'm going to make her run back. Ha, 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 ha. I'm evil, I am.
So far, so good right now, Craig.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
That's what you need. I'm telling you, like, I want to get a gyre, not for this tank. This tank doesn't need it, but the 120 I have, I so want to get one because I just know I could get it cleaner.
Yeah.
Get that pickup from the back. Get the flow just kicking around the tank the right way. I turned up my QP9s, but that's a lot of collision versus just general flow, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
But yep.
All right, hang on just a second. I gotta go feed. Yeah, he's at the front of it. Mango wants to eat.
Gotcha. That's fine. That's fine. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, Jeff, I was talking to my. You probably heard me talk about the LFS here that is going to cut me a deal on my tank, the 5-gallon. So I'm going to get a brand new 5-gallon to use.
Dang.
Yeah.
Tried these pellets for the first time, and I'm telling you, that boy's an eater.
Oh yeah, he's. You're talking about the Mimic Tang, right?
Yeah, that's the first time I've offered him pellets, and he just mowed them.
Excellent.
He eats anything I throw at him. He does not care what it is, as long as he can eat it.
Yep, that's good. That's good. And he's how's the ones that you added to the tank last night there? How are they doing? Have you seen them?
Well, the bicolor blenny went to the local fish store today. He's not allowed to be in here. He's not being a good citizen. So the firefish, as far as I knew this morning, they were doing good last night. This morning they were trying to hash things out a little bit, and the Tang put them both in their place. So
there you go.
I haven't seen them, so I think they're kind of hiding. They did not come out to eat yet. So
yeah, just keep an eye on them.
Each other. Yeah. Well, one of them, like I said, is pretty tore up, but that was from, I believe it was the Blenny. So
excellent. Chances are it was that Blenny. So he was in there just being a bell end to everybody.
Oh, he was being a douche.
Being a douche.
He didn't care who he was biting. He just was ripping everybody a new ass. And I'm like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah, and they're generally not like that, but yeah, it just goes to the point. The fish all have their own personality.
They do have their own personalities, and that's the only reason why I got that one. Because it was so friendly, and from reading up on them, I thought they were nice and quiet. But even one of my firefish, the one that was in there, I mean, he's just as big as big of a jerk because he got into this big tank and went right after the firefish that had already been in there.
Yep.
But I think it's because he had been so beat on. And the one that's in my tank right here was like, oh, yeah? No, I don't think so. I'm the boss in these tanks.
You got it. And that's why the Tang came over. He's probably your tank boss.
Oh, he did. He came over and he shook his little butt over at him. And he's like, break it up.
Yeah.
And they went their own separate ways. So
how'd you get the Blenny out of the tank?
He stayed in the pipe. I just picked the pipe right up out of the water.
Excellent. I like it. I like it when that works out.
You dumbass.
Yeah. Yeah, you stay right there, son.
Yep, he didn't have too many smarts. He didn't know enough to come out of the tube.
Nope. Which works out great because then you just lift one end and whoop, there you go. Put him right in the net.
Yep, I stuck him. Well, I stuck him in a bag of water and took him back down there. They
Even
were like,
better.
"You want anything else?" I'm like, "No, just find him a new home."
Yep.
So you give me store credit or whatever you want to do, because it was a $20 fish, so they're just gonna put it there. Okay, there's one of the firefish. That's the one with a tore up tail, I think. Take a peek at him real quick. Oh boy, somebody would shred. No. You guys need to quit beating each other up. Yeah, it looks like he's gotten a hold of the other firefish, because he's got his top fin shredded up a little bit. His
Yeah, they'll
tail's
hammer it out. They'll usually
Yeah.
hammer it out. You got lids. You don't have to worry about a jumper either, hopefully.
Oh, they were zooming all over the place. I don't think I ever saw any of them. The firefish I have never seen take off like that.
Oh,
They
wait
were
for it.
just- They
Yeah,
were-
firefish are they're part of the dartfish family, right? So yeah, they're really good at ka-choom
Yeah, they did.
bullets. Yeah.
They'd come in together to like they were gonna fight, and then they'd go zoom, and you're like, where the hell did they go?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad I got lids.
All right,
Is
guys,
that
I gotta
true?
go plug my camera in. I shall return momentarily.
All righty. Oh boy. Oh, that firefish got killed. Oh boy. door. I didn't just he was a jerk. Mousy. Mousy. Yeah. I'm not gonna feel bad. I do, but I don't. What happened, little guys? You show them those laws. Dang, go. So you should eat that.
Sorry about that, guys. There we go. So, just dealing with an issue in my tank.
Me too.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on?
Firefish that I put in there last night must have been such a punk he got his ass kicked and killed. Because the firefish that was in here is torn up, and then I don't know if you guys can see the back there in that hole. The other one's just laying there.
He's dead, is he?
Cleanup crew getting him.
Yeah. Well, free food for the cleanup crew.
I'm just going to say if he wasn't being good to his neighbors, then he deserved what he got because he went in with an attitude.
That's the problem, especially when you use similar fish species. That's always a risk, right?
Yeah, but when I introduced the two, maybe because they came out from the local fish store together, that they did okay.
Yeah.
Because I've always kept two firefish together.
Yeah.
But I've always bought them from the same tank too, so they'd already known each other.
Exactly. When you had a stranger in town, and that can happen.
Yeah. So, well, I guess he's meant to. Hopefully, he'll heal up. This poor little.
Oh, the other one? He'll heal up just fine. Yep.
He's eating, so I guess that's okay.
Yep, that's the best part. If he's eating, then he's got every opportunity to heal up. So, go. So, yep. Oh my God, my phone died. I didn't realize it died because I was getting a bunch of messages from people.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. No, Buddy with a fish tank needs a bunch of RODI from me, so.
Oh.
Let him know. No, I got to pick up the wife here in about 20 minutes, so I'll keep it going for now. Yeah, exactly. Some's all cleaned up, bees. Yeah, it looks great. I will leave it open. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do? I got a choice to make here, and I mean it's just me and you, Tina, in here. So chances are, it's Tina's background music. Oh.
Sorry. Well, I can turn it down. Yeah, it's not my background music. My husband's up there doing his exercising.
No, exactly.
I can turn it off. Well, not with the music, but I can turn myself off here.
Oh, it's fine. It's just fine. So I can leave it up and running in here, the stream, guys, or more to the point, what I can do is stop the stream for now and pick it back up in about an hour or so.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Take a break.
And that's what I'm thinking, because then I can sit down, think of a topic. I can get myself set back up. I can do the work I got to do on the tank too, right? And everybody can see the cleanup, I guess, right?
There you go.
So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut her off for now. Sorry about the gap there, but I was just dealing with a tank issue that I had to do right quick. All right. And I will cut her down, and I will bring her back up in about an hour or so. All right, folks?
See you then.
Sounds good. You guys have a good one. I'll see you real soon.